I completely forgot. You told me it's your birthday. Happy birthday. Yeah. So I saw the whole chat saying it. Happy birthday to Baddog.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, thank you for the birthday wishes in the chat. Yeah, another day closer to 50. It's ridiculous. Thank you, sir.
Appreciate it. We got to start the show with the traditional.
Of course.
Stand up, New York Giant fans. Training camp underway today. 2 days ago.
Yes.
So got football's in the air. What more could you ask for if you're a Giants fan?
Not much. Football's in the air, and Saquon Barkley's in camp. And the last week we did this, at least I didn't think Saquon Barkley would be there the entire training camp. But Joe Shane works his magic. They work something out, and get him in there. He has an opportunity to earn an extra $900,000. Probably not exactly what he was looking for, but he's there. And that's huge for the Giants. He just accepted a deal. He said he wants to be there for his teammates, wants to be there for the team. I mean, that's the way Barkley is. Barkley's a high character guy, and showing his true colors, and he's ready to go out there and kill it. And
everybody wins. Well, obviously Barkley doesn't win. He didn't get his money, but everybody wins in the sense that Joe Shane wins, the team wins, Barkley's image wins. Mm-hmm. And I think Barkley showed that he's about his teammates. He put his teammates above himself because he basically got the franchise tag. That's what he got. He got an extra $900,000 potentially,
and he got $2 million signing
front, but it's still the same amount. He's still getting
But supposedly he was going to get that over the course of the game, so he got it up front. So.
So it's in case he gets. The way I look at that is they said, all right, we're going to guarantee you the $2 million up front with the signing bonus in case you get hurt in training camp. So we want you to show up to training camp. Here's your $2 million. We want you to come in. But regardless, I'm just happy that they were able to work it out. And my God, Darren Waller, some of the clips you're seeing, what people are saying about him in training camp. How are you not excited if you're a Giant fan for what he's going to bring to this team? I'm pumped up, man.
Oh, hell yeah. My brother-in-law is a huge fan of the Raiders, and he said, you're going to love Darren Waller. Darren Waller is going to be awesome for you guys if he stays healthy, obviously. But, the first 2 days, he's been killing it. I had somebody on the video I did yesterday, and I think that was the Joe Shane video. And he said, hey, man, I was at training camp, and he's like, Jones and Waller have great chemistry already. Jones looked great yesterday. I guess the offense was a little bit more not as good today as they were yesterday. But, it's training camp. You work out the bugs and everything else. You're not worried about what's going on. But it is good to see Darren Waller tearing everybody up because this is what we brought him in here for. Thank you guys for the birthday wishes. Really, really do appreciate that. No question about it. So we'll do this. Joe, my man. Hey, super chat. When we get super chats, we get these type of things.
Thank you for being a friend.
Thank you, Joey. I appreciate that. Let's bring the Lombardi Trophy back home. Yeah, I don't know if you were in here last time. I hooked my Stream Deck up, so I have some sound effects, so we can.
Nice. Well, I don't even know what a Stream Deck is. What's a Stream Deck?
It's a little box.
But
it puts a bunch of sound effects. I don't have other cameras, but I guess there's a way to do it with different camera angles, different lighting, different backgrounds. So I haven't really messed with it. I just put the sound effects on there because I'm a big child, and I just wanted to put the sound effects on. So, but I'm with you, Joey. Let's bring the Lombardi home. And Bill, my man,
what's up, Bill?
Thank you for being a friend.
Thank you for being a friend. Thank you for the super chat. He says, happy freaking birthday, man. Really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Mav, my man. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate it. Well, we got a different one for that. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it, Mav. Thank you so much. And Octavio, thank you for the birthday wishes, brother. Really, really appreciate it. And a little.
Okay. Record predictions for next season. Ooh, I like it. Baddog, you start.
It's tough. The reason I say that is we don't know what the team is. We don't know who's going to be there. We don't know who's going to be on the 53. We don't know if any injuries are going to happen or not, which, makes it difficult. But I think we're going to be I think we're going to be around the same. I think, 9-10 wins is kind of what I think. If everything, if people are healthy, no key guys get injured. We have a tough schedule. I'm not expecting 13, 14 wins out of this team. I think 10 wins is good. Last year we were 9-7-1. We took a lot of people by surprise, and we won a lot of games at the end. We had a lot of comeback wins. We had a lot of things go our way, and if the other way, I mean, we could have easily won 6 games. So
Yeah.
I think the offense is going to be a lot better. I think the team will be better, but I also think the schedule is tougher. So I kind of still at that 9-10 win marker and getting into the postseason.
Every time I look at our schedule, I always talk myself into 10 wins.
Yeah.
I'm saying 9 because I want to be conservative, but I look at the Rams game at home. I think that we should win that. I look at the Packers game. I think we should win that without Aaron Rodgers home off the bye, extra week. I look at the Patriots game at home. I think we should win that. That's 3. I think we should beat the Raiders. I don't care if it's on the road. I think we should beat them. I think we should sweep Washington. That's 6. I think we should beat Seattle, especially having an extra 3 days to prepare for that game. We have 10 days in between the Thursday game against San Francisco and them. They travel across the country. That's 7.
We should be able to beat the Cardinals.
I think we should beat the Cardinals. That's 8. I think we should split with Dallas. That's 9. And then I think we pick somebody off that people don't think. Maybe the Jets, maybe Miami, maybe the Bills. So I always talk myself into 10 wins, or New Orleans, rather. I think that's a very winnable game, too, in New Orleans. So I don't know. Like, maybe we lose 2 of those games I expect to win, but I could see us picking off 2 games you expect us to lose. So I got us like 9 or 10, like you said. I'm leaning more towards 10, but I'm being conservative and saying 9.
Yeah. Again, I think this team's going to be a lot more fun to watch, and I think the offense is going to open up a lot more. And Barkley being there is huge for me and a lot of fans because, again, if you can run the ball, our offensive line should be better. If you can run the ball with Barkley, it's going to open up the RPO. Jones can run as well. But you start running the ball and you just play action. You freeze those linebackers. That's when Darren Waller can eat. That's when you have that really major threat. Plus, when you have that pure burner outside speed, I guess Jalen Hyatt dropped a touchdown today. He played with the first string guys, but didn't really do much. Or kind of easing them into the offense. But you have those blazers on the outside. Again, you stretch that field. You stretch those defenders. That's going to allow Darren Waller to work underneath. So,
yeah.
I love that Barkley's there.
I see people in the chat already, and I get it's training camp. We don't have a lot to talk about, but I see people in the chat already saying, "Are you worried about this player? Are you worried about that player?" Deontay Banks got cooked in camp.
By Colin Johnson, my guy.
Yeah, by Colin. But Deontay Banks, he's a rookie cornerback. Get used to it. He's going to get cooked a lot this year.
Yeah,
it's trial by fire. It is what it is. He's a rookie. So I'm not. And then there were people on Twitter today saying Jalen Hyatt was getting locked down by Adoree Jackson. Of course. He should. I would be very concerned if Jalen Hyatt was cooking Adoree Jackson.
Right. Yes.
So
I'd be more so concerned about a rookie wide receiver cooking our number 1 corner as opposed to a veteran wide receiver. I mean, he hasn't played really in the NFL, but as opposed to our guys that have been in the NFL or in an NFL training camp cooking a guy fresh out of college.
Yeah, just calm down. Calm down, guys. Calm down. We'll be all right. They're young.
Bob, thank you for the super chat, brother. I appreciate it. And when we got a $10 one, we go,
give me a hell yeah.
Thank you so much, Bob. I appreciate it, man. He says, first, happy birthday, Baddog, my friend. Thank you, Bob. I really appreciate it. He says, and I hope Saquon did right by us, that we do right by him at the end of the season and we treat him well. I definitely think they'll go. Well, it depends on what he does this year, Bob. I think that has a lot to do with it, but I definitely can see him, if he has a big year again, if he hits any of those incentives.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. It's tough because the Giants could tag him again unless they decide to tag McKinney. I mean, this is Barkley's out. If they decide they're going to tag McKinney, they can't tag 2 players. Maybe they do. Maybe they try to work something out with Barkley depending on what he does. Because like you said, he did right by them. And, I still think that depending on how Barkley does, if Barkley hits any of those incentives and he gets 1,300 yards and they make the playoffs, I bet you they go back into negotiations.
I mean, I hope they do. I hope they do. I hope they get a reasonable deal done. I'm not banking on that, though. It's Joe Schoen has shown you that he doesn't think with his heart. He thinks with his brain, which is what you want from a general manager. And if he didn't feel it was worth giving Saquon Barkley whatever Barkley wanted this offseason, I don't think he's going to think it next year when he's a year older. Maybe I'm wrong. I do think we definitely may tag him for sure, or maybe we give him if he's willing to take a deal similar to he did this year over 2 years, maybe 2 years, $22 million, like $11 million a year on average. I could see something like that. But I don't see Joe Schoen opening up the wallet for Barkley. I just don't. I know it's like the right thing to do. And Barkley, I agree. Barkley deserves more than what he got. But it's the nature of the NFL. The Giants played within the rules. They got their leverage, and they're building long term. You could clearly see what the Giants are doing. It's as clear as day. Most important positions in football. We talk about it all the time: quarterback, tackle, edge, corner. Look what they've done. They drafted a edge and tackle in last year's first round draft. They're both on rookie deals entering their second year. They drafted Banks this year. He's on the first year. They signed Dexter Lawrence to a mega deal. They signed Andrew Thomas to a mega deal, and they signed Daniel Jones to a mega deal. So they're building their core: quarterback, edge. That's how you win in the NFL: quarterback, edge, tackle, corner. Get your wide receiver next year. You could clearly see that Joe Shane's building his long-term football team. And I think he probably says, I want Barkley in the here and now, but long-term, I don't believe in spending big money on a running back.
Yeah, again, this isn't a Barkley thing. This is a positional thing. This is about positional value. And, I did a stream the other night, and I showed that the seventh, I think it was the sixth highest paid running back in the league is Miles Sanders. He gets less than $7 million a year. And Miles Sanders had over 1,200 yards rushing last year. He got nothing. Dalvin Cook hasn't been signed yet. Jacobs, Pollard, they're both on the tag. Yeah. So it's not about Barkley. It's about positional value. And unfortunately for Barkley, he's in a dime position, which he mentioned today when they talked about it, that's just kind of the nature of the business. And that's just, he's hoping that he can change it around. Austin Eckler's not happy. There's a lot of guys that are not happy. So it is what it is.
Oh, there you go. Go.
Oh, my guy G Money. Shout out G Money slots. I always love watching, man. He plays slots. He's a slot guy. He bets like I do. Not a lot because we're not one of these people that bets 10, 20, 50 bucks a spin. I've seen those. Not like that, but I love him because the things he says, I'm like, that sounds just like me at the casino. But thank you for your first ever super chat, brother. Appreciate you. He says, happy birthday. Thank you, G Money. And he's a big Giants fan.
There you go. I mean, look at his profile picture. You got to love him.
Yeah, he's a big Giants. He lives in Cali, but he's a big Giants fan. He usually goes to the Seahawks game. Sometimes he goes to San Francisco and Arizona.
We're playing out west a lot this year, so
no,
we'll get to go to a couple of games.
He was going to one of the games. I just forgot what it was.
Yeah, but we got to talk. We got to really quickly touch on the Andrew Thomas contract too. And
I didn't want to quickly touch on that one. Because,
touch on it for a while, but just like
I know,
we all knew it was going to happen. But for Shane to do it now and to get it done now and for the price that he got it done for, $23.5 million a year, and that doesn't kick until 2025. Like, if Andrew and of course the risk involved in this from the Giants' perspective, because there's always a risk. The risk involved in this is if he gets hurt or if he's not going to regress to play, but if he gets hurt and he's not the same player in 2 or 3 years, now obviously gave him a boatload of money. But left tackle, traditionally speaking, is a position that is a long-term position like the quarterback, and to be able to get him locked in at $23.5 million a year that doesn't kick until 2025, he's going to be worth at least $30 million in the 2025 market when the salary cap is worth $275 million. That's what a good GM does. That was a brilliant move by Joe Shane to get that done with this offseason.
No question about it, and that's what I thought, because we talked about it last stream, was that the left tackles are making $25 million. So we thought he was going to get $25 million plus. When I saw it was $23 million, I'm like, that's what prompted me to make the video that Shane's the man, because he got Barkley back in camp. He locked up Andrew Thomas. He locked up Daniel Jones. He's getting all this shit done before training camp. So there's nothing, no questions about it. It's not going to drag on. Like I said, not just get McKinney signed, who had the interception today, by the way. So, get my guy X-Man signed and let's rock and roll.
A move like that enables you to sign McKinney.
That's the thing. Like, he knows, like you said, this Joe Shane and Brandon Brown are playing chess. They're not playing checkers. They know what they're doing. Cressley, thank you for the super chat, brother. Appreciate you. He says, happy birthday. I hope the Giants get another Super Bowl for you. Thank you. I do too.
I hope they get it for him too. Yeah.
I definitely do too. Looking over here. Daniel, man, thank you for being a member for 34 months. That's all it says. 34 months with the fire. Brendan, thank you for being a member for 3 months. Hey, Bad Dog, how are you today? Also, as a Commanders fan, I think we split with y'all. I think the division could be us and y'all. I'm waiting for the day that happens.
I can't. No disrespect to his Commanders, because I will say the Commanders for about a 6-week stretch last year were really good, right? Remember, they beat the Eagles and they were kind of blazing hot before they played us. So I'm not just completely dismissing them, but there's no way I could view them as a team, at least this year, that's going to contend for the division with a complete unknown at the quarterback position.
Yeah, no question.
Yeah.
He says, I'm real happy seeing the Giants and Commanders being good together. Me too. That's the way it was when I was a kid. and really, really enjoyed that very much. So it's good stuff. Matthew, thank you for the super chat. He says Dallas is sweeping the Giants again. Book it.
I don't think so. I don't think so. I think we get at least a split this year, but we're gonna find out soon.
Yeah, I definitely think we close the gap. The week one is so huge for us. To set the tenor and the tone of the year, not just to get off to a good start, but to beat Dallas. Like that has to happen. We've got to beat Dallas. It has to happen.
Yeah,
we have to beat Dallas for our own sanity. We haven't beaten them since the last game of 2020. We haven't beaten Dak Prescott since 2016.
I read an article today, and it's obviously you got me thinking because we're talking about the beginning of the year, and it got me thinking about the Titans game last year to start the year. I read an article today, and everybody's been talking about how hard our schedule is, and I get it. We do play challenging teams. We've both said that.
Yeah.
Start of the article says this year the Giants open up 5 out of their first 6 games are against teams that made the playoffs last year. Well, then I said to myself, let me look at their schedule last year. Last year, we played the Titans. They made the playoffs.
Yep.
We played the Cowboys. They made the playoffs.
Yep.
We played the Packers. They made the playoffs. We played the Ravens. They made the playoffs. And there was one other team in our first 6 that I can't recall that, guess what, made the playoffs. 5 out of the 6 teams we played last year made the playoffs.
Yep.
And everybody said last year's schedule was so easy. It didn't turn out as easy as people imagined it to be. At the end of the day, you go out there, you got a good head coach, you have an improved football team. There's no reason to think this team can't win 9 or 10 games.
Yeah, the tough thing for me is that 3 of our first 4 games are primetime games, and that's what makes it difficult to me. I just I worry about that again. We're not sneaking up on anybody this year. They know what we are. I think last year maybe some people took the Giants lightly, which is understandable. But I love what they did this offseason, and Joe Shane and Brandon Brown, Coach Dable, they had a whole season together last year, and they had a whole offseason this time to figure out what they wanted. And I think they've done a fantastic job on paper anyway. Now we'll see how it translates onto the field because games on paper. But he's definitely done a great job. And somebody mentioned to me, because I said he's done great, and he said, you realized he signed all Gettleman guys. I said, yeah, Gettleman drafted well. Gettleman did everything else poorly, though. Gettleman picked a bad head coach. Gettleman was he was terrible with the cap. He was terrible with the contracts. Really bad. Him and Abrams are really bad with the contracts. The trades are terrible. But yeah, I mean, the thing that Shane did was get these guys locked up and ready to go. But yeah, Gettleman was always a good scout. It's just Gettleman was really bad with everything else.
Listen, Gettleman was not a good GM. Not a good GM.
Good
but
scout.
you have to give him some credit for the way that he drafted, regardless of where the picks were. There are so many GMs that miss on quarterback picks, that miss on pick, inside the top 10, inside the, second round pick like a McKinney or a Azeez Ojulari. The fact of the matter is, from 2012 to 2022, the New York Giants signed 2 players to multi-year extensions. That was Sterling Shepard and Odell Beckham. Odell Beckham was traded for one of the players that we signed to a multi-year extension before his multi-year extension kicked in. Just this year, we signed 3 players to multi-year extensions. And that's Daniel Jones, that's Dexter Lawrence, and that's Andrew Thomas. And they play the two most important positions, the quarterback and the left tackle. And Dexter Lawrence might as well be a pass rusher, so he's the 3rd most important position. So you have to give him credit for that. You have to. You could. It's fair to say Gettleman was a bad GM, but he gave Joe Shane very nice building blocks, which he did.
Yeah, and he traded down. They ended up with Kadarius Toney, which was a bad pick. But Kadarius Toney turned into Darren Waller. That was Joe Shane. Let's give him credit for that. But Gettleman also traded back, got the Bears pick, and we ended up with Evan Neal. So,
and you got McKinney, who may be extended, and you got Azeez Ojulari, who could potentially be extended. Right. So he left some pieces. A
bad job. He just drafting wise, he was good.
Yeah.
The rest of it, though, not good. And there's more to a GM than just drafting players. So,
of course,
he did draft. Yeah. So and Brandon, thank you, Brendan, I should say. Thank you.
Thank you for being a friend.
My kid loves that. Daddy, you watching the grandmas? No, Daddy just has that song. He else says happy birthday. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate it. Big Boo. He says, thank you for the super chat. He doesn't like the soundboard, so I won't play the sound effect for him. He says, wishing you a very happy, healthy birthday. You're still healthy. And birthday is always happy, right? You make another birthday like I made it on Earth another year longer. So it's always a good thing. You want those numbers to get bigger because when they stop, that's not good. You want to say, hate the soundboard effects not needed. You're great enough without it. Yeah, but I'm a kid. I like having fun. You know, I appreciate that. He says, I guess I'm getting old. I have T-shirts old. You have T-shirts that are 50 years old, Dad. How old are you, big boy? I have a hard time believing you have
You'd have
T-shirts.
to be at least 70.
Yeah.
At least.
Because it'd have to be 50 years old. And that'd be pretty cool to actually see a 50-year-old T-shirt. To be honest. That'd be pretty awesome. Raphael, my friend, thank you for
What's going on, Raphael?
My man, thank you, brother. He says, happy birthday to Bad Nigga Dizzle. Thank you so much. Appreciate it, man. John, my friend. The Golden Girls are going to get played out here. Just do it quick.
Thank you for being a friend.
Thank you for being a friend. For all the $5 super chats. Thank you for being a friend. Appreciate it. He says, happy birthday, Bad Dog. Boys, I think Banksy's comments influenced Saquon's decision to sign and report thoughts. Chris, I wanted your thoughts because people mentioned the Carl Banks thing, and I did not see what he said. I never went back and looked at it, so I'm sure you did. I
didn't actually get to. I still haven't listened to it, but I saw the quotes of what he said, and yeah, it was tough love. It was like the way that I read it was almost like a father talking to his son, giving him advice. And to sum it up, to summarize what he said, he basically said, "Don't be stupid. Don't listen to these people that are telling you to hold out and because you can make a point. Take your money," because he really had nothing to gain, and that was basically. By holding out. What are you going to gain? You're not going to gain any leverage. You're not going to gain any power for next year. And that was basically the message that he said to Saquon. And yeah, who knows if Carl Banks was the guy that did it, but I think there's a good chance that message resonated with him because it made a lot of sense. And I'm sure, players on the team probably look at Banks as kind of like a father figure in a way. So yeah, I thought that's a great point he brings up as far as Carl Banks and Saquon Barkley. So yeah, I'm glad that he said it.
So am I. Well, Banks has no problem saying the way it is, which is why it's awesome. Hopefully he gets in the Hall of Fame. That'd be great. He's very, very well deserving of it. And I am going to I got to figure out a way. I got to talk to this guy from Print Champs because I'm going to have a shirt that says Tiki for Hall of Fame. I'm getting those shirts. I know what the hell the deal is why Tiki's not in the Hall of Fame, but he's not.
Coughlin got nominated. He's a semifinalist now. That came out today.
He's going to be
for the Hall of Fame. Yeah.
Kevin, thank you for the super chat.
Thank you for being a friend.
Thank you, my man. He says, great to have Tainah and Dog back talking Giants football. I love what Shane has done. Love what Shane has done. Can't wait for the season to start.
Yeah, how could you not? How could you not love what he's done this offseason?
Yeah, I put it on Twitter. I was like, by the way, Big Moose said he's 62. So you don't have shirts since you were 12.
Yeah. 16, 17 I'd buy, not 12. Yeah.
No, I've been around a while. I do have my Jason Seahorn jersey is older than a lot of people in my chat though. That's 26 years old. So yeah, I do have stuff. That's probably the oldest thing I own is that from 1997 because it's still in really good shape. Richard, my man, thank you for the super chat, brother. Appreciate it. He says, happy birthday, Baddog. Thank you, buddy.
What's going on, Richard? Thanks,
Cowboy fan, Nick Richard. See, there's good Cowboy fans, there's good Eagle fans.
There's a couple. There's like 3. Richard's one of them.
Yes. No doubt. Max, my friend, thank you for the super chat, brother. Appreciate it.
Thank you for being a friend.
Appreciate it, man. He says, love that we got my boy Andrew Thomas locked up for the next 7 years. Can't wait. Super Bowl coming soon. I can feel it.
Yeah, dude, how could you not love it? The players that I mentioned are all here pretty much for the next at least 4 years. Jones, Thomas, our last 3 first-round draft picks, John Michael Smith, who I didn't even talk about, and Dexter Lawrence. That's the foundation. The next 4 years, you're going to have those pieces in place, or at least that's the plan, and you continue to build around them. So it's clear as day what Joe Shane's plan is.
Yep. Eric, thank you for the super chat, brother. I appreciate the super sticker, brother. One for that way. That's the old super sticker. We did arm today. I might have a better pump than normal. Actually, I recorded a video. I'll put it on YouTube Shorts today. It's one of those. Not bad for a guy that's almost 50. Let's go. I can hang with Saquon. I was actually in the gym, so I'm warming up today. I warm up with 20 minutes of cardio, and I walk at a brisk pace, about 4 miles an hour, 4.1 miles an hour, and I incline it. I started
right.
I walk at 9 for 10 minutes, and then when it gets to 10 minutes, I move it up to 10. Right, to 11 minutes, 11, 12, 12, till we get to 15. Then I put it out as high as it goes. and I'll walk till I get to 250 calories. So I'll probably walk at 15 for 4 minutes. And when I'm doing it today, I'm just thinking to myself, I'm like, man, like the Giants used to train in Albany, and I'm like, damn, if only some of those guys would have been here walking into the gym, that would have been awesome. Because I'm thinking to myself, like, how cool would it have been to see one of the Giants walk into my gym and just record, just like, yo, I hit a set.
How about you get to do your leg workout with Saquon Barkley?
I don't want to do that. It'd kill me. It'd have to be like curling and lat pull downs are probably my best because I have very long arms and it's all about leverage. I don't want to do anything with Saquon on his legs.
I saw Barkley today, and it was cool to see. Like Barkley, Barkley was coaching up Eric Gray. You couldn't hear what he was saying, but he was really showing. You could tell that he was putting a lot of effort into trying to show him what to do. And I was just amazed at how much bigger Saquon Barkley is than Eric Gray when you just look at them with the pads on. Like
Eric Gray is not a small guy.
He's not a small guy, but Saquon Barkley made him look small. I'm like, wow, man, Barkley's big, dude.
Barkley is like our height, but he's 230,
and he's
and there's no fat.
Broad, like he's big.
It's just stupid. They're not human. Talking Eco, thank you for the super chat, brother.
Give me a hell yeah!
Thank you so much. He says, "Happy birthday, Baddog." I don't. The Giants have signed so many homegrown players second to contracts before Shane in my lifetime. I don't think the Giants have signed this many.
I just said it, Talking Eco. Yeah. They really only signed one. I don't even count the Odell because they traded him before the contract kicked in.
Yeah.
Since 2000, Pierre Paul, but he was drafted in 2010. So since 2011, it's been just Shepard that got a multi-year extension by the New York Giants. And this offseason alone, you've gotten 3. And next year you might get McKinney and potentially Azeez Ojulari the year after that. So we'll see as they continue to build this team. And I love the way that Shane is doing this because he's spacing these contracts out. Dexter Lawrence's contract doesn't kick in, I believe, until this year's his 5th-year option, right? Yeah. So his contract starts to kick in next year. Andrew Thomas's contract starts to kick in the year after that. So he's spacing these out so he could fit other players on the team.
Yep, which is going to be awesome. And thank you guys, girls, for all the birthday wishes in the chat. I really, really do appreciate it. It comes around once a year, and tonight I didn't get any beer either. I was like, let's have a beer, and I never went to the grocery store because I didn't go to the grocery store. I was starving, and I'm like, I got to go home, and I got to. All I kept thinking about is I got to eat. I got to eat. You get to this point for me. I've been talking like to my buddy at the gym, and I said, when you get to a certain point, you're in there all the time, and there's really not much else you can do. It's like, how do you motivate yourself? Like, what can I do to motivate myself? So last year at the end of August, I got down to 6% body fat, and I'm like, I have to do that again. I'm getting closer. I can tell, and I go the way I'm going to know. I have to actually look unhealthy to get that. I said, when my cheeks start to sink in, I know I'm getting low.
Right.
But when you get to a point like where I'm trying to lean out even more, and I don't eat a lot, man, it's all you think about is food. When's my next meal? And I always tell him, I always joke around, I'm like, man, I can't wait to get out of here and go fuck my turkey. Like, that's just it because it feels that good to eat. It's ridiculous. Yeah. It's crazy. It really is. Jarrell, man, thank you for the super chat, brother. I appreciate it. Says, happy birthday, Baddog. Ready to play Dallas week 1, and their fans are talking shit already. Listen, I can't fault Cowboys fans. They've owned us, right? We have to change that. We have to let them talk that shit. Yeah. But we have to beat their ass, then we can talk that shit.
Yeah, how are you not cocky if you're a Cowboys fan going in? We haven't beaten you guys when Dak has started since his rookie year, so they have every right to be confident going into that game. So, but listen, I think we closed the gap. I do, and we've talked about it. I've given my reasons why I think we're going to beat them opening week, but we'll see. We got to prove it first before we start to puff out our chest.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we've closed the gap, but we have to go out there and execute. Listen, we played 2 tough games against Dallas. Now, granted, their backup was in there the first game, but I mean, Daniel Jones, that was a record ever since they started keeping track of quarterback pressures. They had like 25. Evan Neal got killed in that game, and Dallas's defense is still very formidable, and their offense is still very good, even without Zeke. They still have CeeDee Lamb, Michael Gallup. Like they still have a good offensive line, although Zach Martin's not there from what I understand.
Yeah, he's holding out for now because he doesn't like his contract situation.
He should hold out for week 1.
That's what I said. I mean, if I'm him, at a bare minimum, I'm waiting until week 2.
At least.
That's what his agent should be telling him. After
Yeah,
that, do
I
what you
think so.
want. Do what you want, but at least week 2.
Yeah, you exactly. Don't show up against the Giants. Listen, if the Giants beat them, that'll show you how
I mean,
valuable
they got nothing to worry about anyway. He plays on the interior. Dexter Lawrence, Leonard Williams.
Right,
Like,
there's nothing there.
take a breather week 1. Take a breather.
Robinson, Sean Robinson, there's nothing to worry about there. Donovan, thank you for the super chat. When are we realistic Super Bowl contenders? It's tough to say. I guess it would depend on how we draft, our free agent moves, and when
I'll tell you when, Donovan.
some of these teams take a step back or we close the gap. When we're better than Philadelphia.
When we have a legitimate offensive line, that's when I think we become Super Bowl contenders. Maybe that'll be this year. I doubt it. I think it's going to be another year of seasoning. But when this offensive line gets to the point where we're a top 10 offensive line in football, they could hold blocks. That opens up everything in the offense. So I don't think we're quite there yet because I think the line's still growing. They're young, Neal and John Michael Smits and everything else. And we need another weapon probably on the outside. But we're getting there. I mean, we definitely have some long-term pieces at the most important position. So it could happen as soon as next year. I mean, if Evan Neal matures this year, if John Michael Smits gets a lot better over the course of the year, and you add a premium receiver next year, why can't we be in a very weak NFC conference? Why can't we be next year? So we'll see. Why can't we be this year? I don't even want to talk about next year.
Oh, it ain't going to be this year. I would like to do, like I said, I'd like to get, I mean, I would love to win a Super Bowl, but I'll be satisfied if we do what we did last year, but we're able to beat the teams in this division besides Washington. We have to beat Dallas. Like, that has to happen. And we have to, at the very least, compete with Philadelphia. They can't steamroll us.
Right.
We have to give them a game. Like, they can't just go, oh, it's the Giants. Like, we have to at least stand up and fight with those guys. We can't let them knock us out because they did. They kicked our ass. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. They messed us up twice last year. And Joe Shane was aware of it. That's why they beefed up the interior offensive line in the offseason.
And the interior defensive line, because they know how strong Dallas and the Eagles' offensive lines are, specifically the Eagles.
Yeah. But did I say off? I meant defensive line.
Maybe I misinterpreted. I mean, they did both. They got John Michael Smits on the interior.
Right. That's going to be huge, too. No question. Big Daddy, thank you for super chat. Says happy birthday, bro. Thank you.
What's going on, Big Daddy? Good to see you, man.
And thank you guys for all. I see all the love in the chat, man. I appreciate it very, very much. So thank you again for all the birthday wishes. Much appreciated. By the way, we have 530 people in here. We have 160 likes. That ain't good enough. So we need some more likes up in here. What I need you to do, because this is happening this year. You guys know, well, some of you may know. Well, a lot of you know, like my mods know, people that are in my chat know. August 19th, I'm doing a 24-hour stream again. I haven't picked a charity yet, but we're going to do a 24-hour stream on August 19th. I want you guys to go into the description and sub Up Tainah. So he said when he gets to 50K, he's doing a 24-hour stream. So this is
let me throw in this in.
No,
I'm doing it. I'm doing it. Okay. But it may not happen the day I hit 50K.
No.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's gonna. I'm gonna do it when
you have to plan that. That's not. You have to prepare for that.
Yeah.
That's why I think about dates months in advance of when I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
You really have to prepare. But we got to get Chris to 50K this year. It's going to happen, right? Give him a 50K, 24-hour stream. By the way, if you're free August 19th, you know where to find me. You text me, I'll text you the link. You come by, you hang, whatever.
Yeah, definitely.
You're always welcome. And the chat loves you. So
I love you guys. Thank you guys for being here.
Matthew, thank you for the super chat, bro. He says you close the gap till we got Gilmore and Cooks. I'm not really worried about Brandon Cooks.
Yeah. I mean, well, I shouldn't say I'm not worried, but he's a solid receiver. But
I'm more worried about CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah, CeeDee Lamb's the guy you worry about in that offense. There's no doubt about it. They also lost their tight end, too, so don't forget about that. Dalton Schultz who killed us. So Cowboys are good, though. I'm not downplaying the Cowboys. They're good. I think
I'm not sitting here saying that we're going to beat you, but I think we can. I definitely think we can beat you. Because you didn't see this offense. You didn't have the guard of Darren Waller last year. You didn't have flat outside speed like Jalen Hyatt and Paris Campbell. You didn't have those guys to compete last year. You had Richie James and David Sills and Daniel Bellinger. I mean, it's Sterling Shepard and Wan'Dale Robinson.
By the way, Daniel Bellinger, I think everybody's forgetting about him. Like, I could see Daniel Bellinger having a sneaky good season for this team because I think you're going to still see a lot of 12 personnel. and I think they're going to use him a lot in the fullback role as well, the H-back. I could see him with the attention that is, Waller's going to garnish and Barkley in the backfield and all. He's going to be kind of that guy that everybody forgets about, that I could see having a pretty productive year for the Giants, even though I think a lot of people are just like, well, we got Waller. He's not going to be that involved. I wouldn't be surprised if he has 350, 400 yards and 5 or 6 touchdowns. I wouldn't be surprised.
I was going to say, I could see him getting 5 or 6 touchdowns because when you're at the 3, the 2, that's when you do the little play. You just tighten up the line, do a play action pass, and everybody jumps the route, and everybody goes at the main tight end, and then the backup tight end's one that always gets those touchdowns. So Shep Oz this year going to cash in.
Yeah, for sure.
Irish, thank you for the super chat, brother. Appreciate you. He says, happy birthday, Bad Dog. Hey, Chris O'Ball as well. Giants football's back. Go Giants. Go Big Blue.
What's going on, Irish? Good to see you, man.
Yes, let's go Giants. We're pumped up, man. I put it on Twitter. This is the first time in a long time that I've been really pumped up for a season. It has been a long time since I really believe in my heart we can be very competitive, and I'm definitely looking
There's
forward.
no reason to think we won't be. There's no reason to think we won't be.
Grant, thank you for the super chat, brother. I appreciate you. He says, what position competition are you all looking forward to the most? Love the bids, fellas. Happy birthday, Bad Dog. Mine is at 12. Well, happy birthday, Grant.
Happy birthday, Grant.
July 28th is his birthday. So happy birthday. Appreciate it. Competition.
I would say for me, you go first, Bad Dog. You go first.
The wide, I not so much your number guy, but like the 4th wide receiver. Like, because I like Colin Johnson. He's impressed. It's going to be tough. Like, the Giants have a lot of wide receivers in camp. So it'll be interesting to see which guys actually make the squad, which guys could be that wide receiver. Because you got Shepard, he's coming off an injury. You got Wandale's going to be there, but they both starting on the PUP list. You got Colin Johnson, who is an outside shot. You got Jay Crowder. So you got I'm missing the guy from the
Beasley.
Well, that's right. They picked up Cole Beasley, Bryce Ford Wheaton.
Yeah.
So I think like wide receiver, because I think
Beasley, I think, is making this team. They've been talking. He's been getting a lot of first team reps the first 2 days of camp. I think he's making this team
on return,
at least to start the year. That may change when Shepard and Wandale get back, but
yeah. But I think that'll be a really good competition, and I'm kind of interested to see what they do with the guards. Azudu played. And Bredesen, I think that's what they had out there today. But they're mixed up a lot of things. And then, of course, the other safety position outside of McKinney. So, I don't know.
I think there's a lot. I think the safety position is just an open competition. I think Pinnock got the start, and then day one, and I think Belton got some reps. I don't remember. I read it today, but I think that's a complete open competition. I think there's 3 or 4 guys that could win that starting safety spot opposite McKinney. That's not the one that's most intriguing to me. But that's at least a competition. I think the LB2 spot's a competition. Beavers, so far, at least day one, I didn't read day 2, was getting the more reps than McFadden, but we'll see how that plays out throughout camp. So that's a competition. Like you said, the wide receiver is really interesting. But for me, and it may, I don't know, it might be because I just like the 2 players, and I think it's a good competition. I've said it. I think the slot corners is the one that I like the most in terms of the battle. I'm excited about Cordell Flott, man. I'm excited about
Flott's going to be good.
Yeah, and I like Aaron Robinson. I do. The guy, I think he was playing out of position last year and he got hurt, but I like both those players. And Cordell Flott came into camp today, looked at this year rather. He looks at least 15, 20 pounds heavier. He definitely put on some muscle. So yeah, I think that's the one I'm most excited about, the slot corner battle.
Yeah, that's going to be a big one. I mean, it's we get beat in the middle of the field a lot, so it'll be interesting to see what they do, but especially with Wink's defense, those guys are pretty integral in what they do. James saying of a super chat, man, he says, has any quarterback had a worse situation than I see all these $5 ones. I'm not going to keep playing the Golden Girls song, so just know the Golden Girls song is playing when they find out. Has any quarterback had a worse situation than DJ since he was drafted? For some reason, all the talking heads seem to not want to talk about that. Yeah, we'll get into that later because I do want to talk about Shady McCoy throwing shaded Daniel Jones again. As usual. Listen, I completely admit he's got a shitty situation. It didn't matter to me. I was hard on him anyway. And, that's just the way it was. I was sick and tired of losing. And when you're the quarterback, you're going to listen, Phil Simms got booed here the year they won the Super Bowl, in 86. And he says, that's just the way it is as a quarterback.
Yeah. It's not always fair.
Unfair. And listen, was I hard on DJ? Was I unfair to him? Maybe I was unfair. I definitely was hard on him. But yeah, when John Mara comes out, when your owner comes out, and I swear
everybody knew what Mara said. If you're being fair, of course we screwed the guy.
Yeah, but the fact that he came out and said we've done everything to screw this kid up, and he should we were embarrassed, and I think he came to a realization I got to change, and he did. I think when that happened, that shifted everything into what you're seeing now.
Yeah.
So.
Somebody brought it up in my chat the other day, and I thought I wasn't even thinking about it because I was thinking about starting quarterbacks now. But Sam Darnold is comparable in terms of how getting screwed, like his upbringing with the Jets, like that was bad. I'm not saying he's good, but that was a situation where they really messed him up too, much like Daniel Jones. But obviously, I'd rather Daniel Jones than Sam Darnold. But you're asking guys that got put in a situation to really fail. I think that's another one. But yeah, I mean, listen, coaching goes a long way in the NFL. There's no doubt about it. And yeah, when you look at it, Daniel Jones throughout his first 4 years in the NFL had a bottom 5 offensive line pretty much every year. He had, if not the worst wide receiving core collectively over those 4 years, one of the bottom 3. And he had 3 different offensive coordinators. You can't really have a worse situation than what he had for the upbringing of a quarterback. And that's what Mara came out and said. And I think last year you started to see what he can be. Like, that was the floor last year as far as I'm concerned. That's the floor for Daniel Jones with this coaching staff when he gets stability. I only think it's going to go up. So I'm excited to see what he can do year 2 with Dable. What happened? You there, Baddog?
I can't hear anything. You still there? I don't know. Maybe it's me. I hit the wrong thing.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry. All right. My stupid computer is messing up, man, or whatever. I just want to show you something. You guys, some of you guys have probably seen this, but you talk about coaching, right? You talk about coaching and all this other stuff. Well, I mean, listen, when I met Chris at the game, I'm a few beers deep, but you can also see I gained a lot. I was a lot heavier back then. But just listen to what I see. This is why I say I lost sight of where I was at Daniel Jones, because here's 2019. We're playing the Jets. We lose. Obviously, we lose all the time. We lost all the time back then. But you can hear exactly what I say here.
Let him know. Listen, man, Daniel Jones is having a hell of a game today. That's 4 touchdowns. The man's 18 out of 24. Converted a 2-point conversion, ran for 10 yards, playing a hell of a game. Our head coach still sucks. Giants lead, 27-21 right now, 5-21 third quarter. I love the way Danny Dimes is playing today. He's just amazing, man. This kid's got a ton of potential. If we can get an offensive line around this kid and actually get him a real coach, he can be dangerous in the NFL.
Yeah, so for all the people that say I was hard on Daniel Jones, yeah, I was, but I was also on board rookie season. And like I said, I lost sight of what it meant to have a real coach, which I mentioned. That was Shermer was the head coach. And he never had an offensive line. So, like I said, I lost sight of that. But all the losing can blind you because you get pissed off after a while. But, you know.
And his best wide receiver since he's been in the pros is Golden Tate. So, like, I mean, you know, get the guy some help. You got him Waller now. You drafted Hyatt. Hopefully he morphs into something. You pick up Paris Campbell. Next year, I think they're going to continue to add some more weaponry to this offense. Hodgins, who knows? Scott, you know, maybe he's got something cooking there. We'll see how he does this year. But, yeah, this is by far the best situation Daniel Jones has had since he's been in the NFL. There's no reason to think this year 2 in the scheme, which is a much bigger factor than some fans realize, year 2 in the offense, in an offense where they actually know what they're doing, unlike with Jason Garrett and Joe Judge, with the added weaponry, there's no reason to think Daniel Jones should not have a pretty large leap in production. I expect Daniel Jones to – I don't like to throw thresholds, like I always say, because it's all dependent on, you know, from within the game and, you know, who stays healthy and what is the best, you know, strategy to win week to week, depending on your opponent. But I don't know. I expect Daniel Jones this year to probably have close to 30 total touchdowns, if not even maybe a little bit more. So I'm not saying 30 throwing. I'm saying maybe 24 throwing, 6 rushing. But I think he's going to have a much more productive year. I think we're going to have a lot more big plays. Last year, he only had 27 throws, and that was not because he can't throw the ball deep. His rookie year, he had 39 throws of over 20 yards and 12 starts. That's over 3 a game. The Giants did that intentionally because of the limitations of the overall offensive line and the weapons and everything else. And they knew that gave them the best chance to win with last year's roster. I expect those big plays to nearly double this year if he plays 17 games. So I think it's going to be a more explosive offense. And I think Daniel Jones is going to have a pretty big year this year. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, no question. I mean, that was well said. There's no question about it. Dustin there with Super Chat, brother. Really appreciate that. $20. Boom. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate it. Eric, thank you for the Super Chat, my friend. Really appreciate it. Happy birthday, Bad Dog. Since we also call you LakerDog, are you also the Giants dog? I mean, I certainly can be. Make me a Giants fan now. Eric, you're more than welcome to come on board, brother. Load it up. Load up.
We need as many fans as we could get.
We do. I mean, as many fans as we get. So you are certainly more than welcome. Let's go. We love the more the merrier, baby.
By the way, did you see that? And I don't care. But did you see that poll? I think it was like some betting site ran some kind of poll.
Yeah, the Giants fans at a moment. How do you know who's betting on the games?
And how do you measure intelligence based off of betting? To me, if like the Giants fans are the worst bettors, that doesn't necessarily mean that they're the least intelligent. It means that they're the most passionate because they're betting on their team. That's the way I look at it. And the two most intelligent fan bases were the Cleveland Browns and the Buffalo Bills. The Bills throw women through tables, and neither team has ever won a Super Bowl. So how smart could they be? The teams they root for. So I just thought it was funny. The poll that came out that we have the dumbest fan base in all of football.
Well, I'm an idiot, and I'm a Giants fan, but it is. But I'm actually very intelligent. Maybe not when it comes to betting. I absolutely suck. I've said that before. I suck at betting on NFL football. Good at college, not great. I'm gonna make a living at it. Good at college, but I am so bad at betting in the NFL. I just am. I can't catch a break. I just can't. It's not me. And I play parlays. So it's not like I just put, $50 on one team. So I have to have the parlays. And a lot of times I win 3 out of 4 or 2, it's not like I'm losing every game I bet, but I'm just better at college football. Dan, thank you for the Super Chat, brother. Appreciate you. Happy birthday, Bad Dog. 15 days to preseason. Let's have it go. And of course, Chris and I will be here for the preseason.
What did you say?
I said, of course, you and I will be here for the preseason game.
Oh, yeah. Always. I can't wait. Yeah. When is I don't even know what the first preseason game is. What, like 2.5 weeks probably?
Yeah, he said 15 days.
Oh, there you go. So 2 weeks. Yeah, I think the Jets game is this week, isn't it? Like that's the first preseason game of like the entire NFL, I think.
Oh, maybe.
I think I read that. I think it's coming up soon. Not that I care, but that is just exciting to see any football.
NFL football, of course.
Yeah.
Story. Thank you for the Super Chat, brother. Appreciate you. Cheers, fellas. We're getting closer to kickoff every day. Every single day. I'm excited, man. I am excited. Toasty, thank you for the Super Chat. Appreciate you. Just a quick Giants question. Name a player you could have bet your house was going to be good and sucked, and one you thought would suck and was good.
Ooh, that's a good one. Are we just talking Giants, I'm assuming? Oh, yeah, it says Giants question. Okay, one that I thought was going to suck and turned out good. I'm a fan, so I never like to think any of my players are going to suck when we draft them. So it's like,
Jones is the first guy that comes to my mind.
Yeah. Initially, the initial reaction, yes, Daniel Jones. Yes. Okay, Daniel Jones. And then one that I thought was going to be good and turned out to suck. I mean, there's several that you could say.
Yeah.
Kenny Golladay, like that's one. That's the first one that Nate Solder. I mean, right off the top of my noggin, they weren't drafted, but they were big free agent signings. I'd say Marshall, but that was more injury related. The first guy that popped in my head was Golladay and Solder for that.
I don't want to say that I ever thought Eric Flowers was going to be good. I knew he was playing out of position.
Yeah. And
I felt like that was not a good draft pick. But at the same time, I did not think he'd be like just useless. And he was useless. So,
I just saw somebody. This has to be a joke, obviously, but I just saw somebody in the chat said Chris hates Eli.
Maybe Eli somebody else.
Maybe I'm assuming they're talking about Eli Manning. Eli Apple I hate, but
that could be.
Eli Manning is. I've said it about 1,000 times since I've been on YouTube. He's not just my favorite Giant; he's my favorite athlete of all time. So I'm assuming it's a sarcastic comment.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Big Moo, thank you for the super chat, brother. I appreciate you. Brilly, my friend. He says Barkley manned up and showed up for his team and showed the position he showed the person he is team first. Yeah, and that's what we talked about. You know, Barkley is a team first guy, and we talked about his high character last time. I didn't think he was going to show up for training camp. So good on him, and we need him there. There's no question about it, but that should make a lot of Giants fans happy. You know, a lot of Giants fans like, oh, Daniel Jones ain't gonna be anything about Saquon Barkley. Well, we ain't got to worry about that now. And people talk, you know, they asked me about 2024, and it's like, dude, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Let's get through 2023, figure out 2024 and 2024. All that matters is he's here now, which is pretty much what you said. I'm here now.
Yeah. I'm leaning that he's going to be back next year because when I looked at it, I think the franchise tag for the safety is outrageous next year. It's somebody told me in my chat the other day it's projected to go to like almost $18 million because the safety market's gone way up. So I don't think they'll tag McKinney. So I'm leaning that he'll be back. Maybe they'll give him, you know, they'll make it more pretty and not have to tag him, and he agrees to something like 11 or 12 a year for 2 years. I don't know. Or they'll tag him, but I'm leaning Barkley will play at least another year as a Giant if he stays healthy this year and plays well.
Yeah, he's got to play well.
Yeah,
no question about that. Corp CA, man, thank you so much, man. Really, really appreciate it. First time I've ever been able to play this one for a super chat.
Cash moves everything around me. Cream, get the money. Dollar bill, yo.
Thank you, my man. Really appreciate it. He says, I'm going to Giants Fins, Giants Raiders, Giants Saints. And you're going to do some traveling. Hitting not all four corners, but yeah, that's some traveling. Vegas. You're hitting some good cities though. Miami.
Yeah.
Vegas, New Orleans.
The Giants this year in terms of travel destinations, and thank you for popping in, Corp. The Giants this year in terms of travel destinations, Bad Dog, some of the most attractive places you want to go on vacation.
Yeah.
Arizona too is a nice place. I think they're going there too. Buffalo not so much, but it's a good atmosphere for a football game. So yeah, they have a really, you know, if you want to travel and go to away games, it's a fun year to if you're a Giant fan.
Yeah, there's yeah, my God, the cities are great. New Orleans is probably my favorite city I've been to in the United States. I had so much fun in New Orleans. It's crazy. When your wife is bringing you into every strip club down the bar, I mean, it's just a great place. I mean, every one of them. It was the funniest thing ever. I think I told us before. She, you know, her and her friend are getting like hurricanes or whatever they are in the street. There's like street vendors. And there's strip clubs, doors wide open, and I look in there and I'm like, oh, shit, nice. And you know, I don't want her to see me looking, so I just turn like I wasn't looking when she comes back. And she says, hey, look. So of course I do. She's like, and then she's joking around. She's like, what are you looking at? I'm like, you told me to look over there. And she's like, you want to go in? Let's go in. So we go in. And this chick did this, like, she was on the stage. There was a guy in the front, like in the seat. She did like this handstand and flipped off the stage. And as she did, she wrapped her legs around his neck. And my wife's like, wow, she's good. And so then every one we passed, she wanted to go in to see the dancers.
That's when you know you met your wife.
You got to twist my arm too hard. But she was like, no one was as good as that first girl. And I told her, I go, listen, you can go in the ones with the women, like the men, but I ain't going in there with you. You can go in there. I don't care. I'm not going in there. I don't need to see that. I have those parts. No. And I don't even like looking at my own parts. So no, thank you. No, thank you. Gavin, thank you for the super chat. He says, do we have it confirmed that Darren Waller is an actual alien? I hope so. Giants going 10-7, 6 seed, and going to the NFC Championship this season. Let's go, Big Blue. I would love it.
I hope you're right, Gavin. Listen, if they get in, anything could happen. The NFC is not stacked. Obviously, the Eagles are really good. The Niners are really good, but who knows with Brock Purdy? You don't know. Now teams have film on him, so we'll see. But yeah, listen, could I see us winning a playoff game? Sure, absolutely. So we'll see when we got to get there first, though.
No question. Acuna King, thank you, Arena member, for 29 months, brother. He says, stand up, New York Giants.
What's going on?
Let's go, baby. I'm ready. I have a feeling we're going to be doing a lot of standing and cheering this year. At least I hope so.
We will be.
But Steven, thank you for the super chat. He says, I watched the 08 Giants versus Carolina. Derek Ward was a beast. Yeah, we ran for like 300 yards in that game.
Yeah. Derek Ward was awesome for the Giants.
It was Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Yeah. He was awesome those last. I think
Yep.
the Jets initially drafted him in like the 7th round, and we picked him up like right away. But yeah, he was a good Giant.
Yeah. Hopefully James Robinson turns into that guy.
That'd be nice.
That'd be pretty cool. That'd be pretty cool. I haven't done it in a while. So Alfonso, thank you for super chat.
Thank you for being a friend.
I just like this song because I love the Golden Girls. It's like my favorite show outside of like Seinfeld and Everybody Loves Raymond. And I say, anybody that says they don't like the Golden Girls, you're full of shit. Who doesn't love them? As my son says, the grandmas. The grandmas.
Yeah.
Alfonso, thank you, brother. Really appreciate it. Says, what up, guys? Barkley looked really pissed during his press conference. Do you think he's going to get over the whole contract situation? I'll be honest, Alfonso, I don't think he was pissed about the contract situation. It's probably more of an irritant that he knew he was going to have to face those questions. We know the New York media can be tough. Patty asked a great question, but as she always does. I timestamped that when I commented on it.
I missed it. What did she say?
She just asked him if his legacy had a lot to do with him coming back and
Okay.
stuff. And he said, yeah, legacy is very important. I mean, he wants to retire a Giant. So, yeah, but I don't know if he was so much the contract situation is just knowing he had to face the media for the first time since this whole blow up and he, had to kind of do damage control. He's obviously not happy, but again, this shows you what kind of character Barkley has, that he's not happy and he's not holding out. And he did get there for the first day of training camp that he's like, what? Okay, whatever. You gave me a little, I'm going to take it. I'm going to go in. I'm going to do my thing. And he said, he said the market's not good. I understand that. He said, hopefully I can change that. He's not going to be able to. Because again, it's not Barkley, it's the position.
I think if he stays healthy this year and plays well, the Giants are going to do right by him within reason. Because I think there had to be something under the table where they said, show up to camp, do right. You play well this year. We'll make sure that I don't think it's going to be what he wants. But I think they'll be willing to give him something within reason. And knowing that the Giants have the leverage of the franchise tag, I think Barkley will sign it next year. If I had to guess, if he stays healthy and plays well, if I had to guess, 2 years, maybe like 2 years, $22 million, like nearly full guarantee, something like that. But I don't see him going much further than that if he stays healthy and plays well this year.
Yeah, they're not going to give him.
There had to be something under the table that they said to him where that incentivized him to come into camp. I think, but we'll see.
He whispered some sweet nothings in his ear. Let's just hope Barkley has a great year and they do pay him.
Exactly. I don't even want to think about that right now. I want to enjoy this season.
Exactly. Irish says, for Bad Dog's birthday, hit the thumbs up. Yes. Even if it's not my birthday, you should hit the thumbs up. But it is my birthday today, so yes. It's his
birthday, guys. Hit the thumbs up. What are you doing?
Thumbs up. God, I'm almost 50. This is insane. Flip says, I'm simming for Betty White. She passed away. I loved Betty White. I'm trying to think who my favorite Golden Girl was. It probably was Betty White. I always like Betty White.
She's everybody's favorite.
Oh, yeah, you got it.
Yeah. How do you not like Betty
Who
White?
didn't love Betty White? Seriously.
Yeah.
She was the best. Cressley, thank you for the super chat, brother. Appreciate it. What would make this season a success? And what would make it a disappointment? I'll let you start with that one.
Yeah, to me, it comes down to the division for me.
We probably.
Yeah, success is going at least 3-3 in the division, and showing that you're not. I don't expect to beat the Eagles, but showing that you're starting to at least start to close the gap, like that. That to me is successful. I mean, if we end up making the playoffs and doing damage, great. But that's how I'm judging this team this year. How much did you catch up to the teams from within the division? If we win only 8 games, but we lose a couple of close games against a very hard schedule, but we look good in the division, I think that gives me a lot more hope going into next year when you have to figure the schedule is going to ease up a bit. This team's going to improve more. So for me, that's really the biggest, I guess, measuring stick for this team for me this year is how do you play from within the division? If you could go 3-3, split with Dallas and play the Eagles tough, I think that's a big improvement from last year. If they have a similar result to last year where they get manhandled in the trenches, both times they play the Cowboys, they get swept by both teams, that's a failure, in my opinion. You have to show that you started to close the gap from within the NFC East.
Yeah, I'm in total agreement, which we've talked about before. By the way, I had to throw the question in the chat. I had to ask who the favorite Golden Girls. I had to throw the poll up there. We got to have some fun. It's all about having fun.
Absolutely.
But I agree. We have to go 3-3 in the division. We have to, one way or the other. Okay, if that means we were swept by Washington but beat Dallas twice and the Eagles once, fine. sweeping Washington would mean we beat either Dallas or Philadelphia. We have to beat Dallas. We have to continue to get better in this division. We get killed by this division. We've gotten killed by this division. Not so much Washington, but Washington is what it is. We usually do well against them. We have to find a way to beat Dallas and Philadelphia. That's going to be the thing. 9-10 wins and being at least 3-3 in this division, that's a success.
Yeah.
Disappointment is winning 6 games and having I don't want to say it, but some of our guys regress, having them take a step back. Seeing Barkley, if he takes a step back, or if Jones takes a step back, or Waller doesn't have a really good season like we expect him to, I think that would make it a disappointment. But I think overall, if we go 1-5 in the division and we win 6 games, that's a disappointment because this team, in my opinion,
I would even take it a step further. If we go 1-5 in the division and go 9-8 and make the playoffs, which would be hard to do because you would have to go. What would you have to do if you went 1-5? You'd have to go 8-3 outside of the division.
Yeah,
that would be a disappointment in my opinion. I feel like you have to start to close the gap within the division. That's the biggest measuring stick for me.
Yeah, no question. Cole, thank you for super chat. Appreciate you. He says, "Can you all do predictions for the 53-man roster? Just the more competitive positions, wide receiver, corner, running back, etc. So ready for the season."
Oh man, that's tough. That's something I'd have to do a video on. But
yeah,
real quick, I think we go 7 at the wide receiver. It's very hard to do right now. I mean, the obvious top 4, which I'm going to include Hyatt along with the obvious top 3 that we know we're going to start with Hodgins, Campbell, and Slayton. And then I think Beasley's making this team based off of initial training camp reports. So I'm going to throw him in there at least initially because of the injuries we have, with our slot wide receivers. I'm going to continue to say Jeff Smith because I think for special teams, he's making the team. I don't know. The 7th guy, maybe it's Colin Johnson. Maybe, I don't know. But I think they're going to go 7. Quarterbacks is obvious. I don't need to go over that. Tight end, I think, is pretty obvious. I throw Cager in as the 3rd. I think we go with 3 tight ends. I think we go with 9 linemen. I mean, we know the linemen. I don't need to go over that for the most part.
Running backs probably.
Running back, I think we go.
I don't know if Brightwell makes it.
Yeah, I'm leaning we go 4. We could go 3, but I'm leaning we go 4 running backs. And then the 4th one would be between Brightwell and Robinson if we go with 4. The top 3 are obvious with Breida and Gray and obviously Barkley. And I'd have to do a video on that. There's way too,
It's tough to do it off the top of your head.
Yeah.
That's for sure. Bob, thank you for the super chat, brother. Appreciate you. He says, you read my mind, Chris. I was thinking 2 for 25 fully guaranteed.
Yeah, I mean, listen, he's got to have a great year and stay healthy. But could I see them doing something like that? Maybe going into next year. Yeah, I could see it. Especially with the way that these contracts break down with Andrew Thomas now not kicking in for another 2 years and Dexter Lawrence. But I'll worry about that at the end of the year. He's got to have a good year first.
The Ace Avenue, thank you so much for the super chat, brother.
Give me a hell yeah.
Thank you so much. Says, happy birthday, Bad Dog. You two are the GOATs. Report saying Jones had some zip on his fastballs today. Looking forward to him having another good season. Let's go Giants. Bleed effing blue. You mentioned it. It's amazing what confidence does.
Yeah.
A little swag.
Last year to me, it was pretty apparent to me last year. I thought at least Jones, his arm strength looked better to me last year than it had in the past. It looked like he had more zip on his throws. And maybe that has something to do with working out or, the coach, who knows. But to me, there was I could think off the top of my head, 6-7 throws Daniel Jones made last year that I didn't think he was capable of making. And not all of them were long throws, but it was the zip that he put on the throws. The tight window throw to Richie James late in the game that set him up for a field goal opportunity. I forgot what the game was, but that was a really that was like 100-mile-an-hour fastball. The throw to Slayton across the field against, I think it was the Texans, the game I was at, that it was only about a 5-yard throw, but it was from right sideline to left sideline. He put a lot of throw on that ball, factoring that he couldn't throw into it. And there's several other throws. So I thought his arm strength looked better than I thought it was going into last year. So I think his arm strength's underrated by a lot of fans, honestly, Daniel Jones.
I do too. And I honestly, I think that again, that's confidence. He's just letting it go. He believes in his throw.
Yeah.
So, I think his tight window throws could be a little better.
Yeah.
And obviously that's tough because every time he went to throw, it was a tight window throw.
Right.
You're not going to make a living. And he had one of the highest completion percentages in the league.
Mhm.
60 QBR. You know, it's crazy. Lucas, man, I don't even know what to say, brother.
Oh my
Thank
God.
you so much. We can do them all for Lucas.
Cash rules everything around me. Clean, get the money. Dollar bill, yo.
Thank you very much. That's really nice. Thank you.
Was that Donald Trump?
What's that?
Was that Donald Trump?
This one, yes. Oh, I got a couple of Trump. Yeah, this one's Trump.
Thank you very much. That's really nice. Thank you.
I do, man. I really, 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 really appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. Where's the rest of them? I have a bunch of. I appreciate it, man. He says, "Happy birthday, Baddog. Grab yourself another bottle." Yeah, there's not much left in there. I appreciate. Thank you so much, Lucas. He says, "With a bit of luck, that one will be empty soon." There's not much left in there. We started with a full bottle last year.
Well, hopefully that's empty by about week 5.
Yeah, by Halloween we're gonna be.
Yeah.
It's gonna be gone. Well, if we beat Dallas, I might drink too. Love you from down under, brother. See you in the 24-hour stream. Lucas, again, man, thank you so much. Man, incredibly generous. Really, really appreciate that. I mean, you didn't have to do that. Very, very appreciative. Thank you so much. The legendary Lucas from down under. Of course, he likes an idea of the down under. The one time we had to do a nice, what you call there, one of those, the pep talks in the locker room there, the little Braveheart type of thing. We got to get him going, rally the troops. You have Daniel Jones out there zipping the fast balls early over the place. Jalen Hyatt, of course, we got Paris Campbell, Darren Waller. Looks really nice. We're going to have Darren Waller. He's going to be killing it, so it's really good. But thank you, Lucas, man. I really, really appreciate that. That's unbelievable, brother. Thank you so much. Mike, thank you for super chat. Imagine Beasley catches the game-winning touchdown against Dallas. Oh.
Yeah, I said that today on Twitter, actually. I said that exact thing because I was just thinking about it today as I saw the post from Beasley. People are giving him props early on in training camp, and I'm like, wow, we played Dallas week 1. That'd be pretty cool. Catches a game-winning touchdown against his former team.
Yeah, that would be pretty amazing.
Yeah,
that'd be awesome. I don't care who catches that.
Of course.
It's such a pain in the ass to us for so many years.
Yeah,
that little damn squirt. 3rd and 7, get 9 yards. A little slippery eel is what it was. Yeah. Toasty, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Oops, what do I do here? I'm going to bring this back up there. And since he said it,
thank you for being a friend.
Thank you, Toasty, because he said 5 greatest TV shows of all time. Cheers. I'm going to board Cheers. The Office, never watched it. Cobra Kai is fantastic. Seinfeld, Full House. Golden Girls is a bunch of Titanic survivors arguing. I love it.
I still haven't seen the new season of Cobra Kai. I know it came out like a long time ago. I haven't seen it, but I like it. The Office is good. Obviously, you mentioned
number 1.
Seinfeld is most people's, at least in that genre, most people's number 1.
Everybody loves Raymond.
If you're talking sitcoms,
Queens.
But for me, I mean, I think you got Breaking Bad has got to be, up there.
My second.
That's got to be up there. Sopranos is a classic. There's so many good shows now. Like Better Call Saul was really good.
Alf was great. Alf.
What was it?
You're too young for Alf.
Oh yeah. I've seen it. I remember seeing a few episodes as a kid, but yeah, I didn't get to appreciate it.
Yeah, I was 11, so it was
Yeah. There's too many good. There's like 10 shows a week now. So and there's so many that I like that. I think it's way too hard for me to come up with my top 5. There's so many shows, but yeah, those are some of my favorites, the ones that I mentioned. I'll say one in the same genre as The Office that I really like is Parks and Recreation that I think a lot of people go overlooked. I think that's a great show.
Yeah, I don't watch a lot of shows. A lot of it is the 90s stuff.
Yeah.
It's Seinfeld. Everybody loves Raymond. As far as like sitcoms go, King of Queens, I always really enjoyed that. I liked Family Matters. Back in the day.
Family Matters is great.
And probably Who's the Boss? Just because of Alyssa Milano, and she was my girl for many years. I loved Alyssa Milano. No question about that. My guy, Demons Row, man. Thank you so much for the super chat, brother. Appreciate you. My guy, Demons Row, love him. My guy just speaks facts. He just speaks facts. He ain't afraid to speak facts. My guy takes a stand about stuff. We have very similar views, which is why, and again, I have nothing to do with MC culture or any of that. Like I always say, you'll never catch me on twos because I would wipe out and kill myself. I don't know how you guys write those things, but he's the freaking man. Very, very
successful, man. How you doing, buddy?
And I forgot Demons. I forgot who you did that interview with, man. That was a hell of an interview when he was talking about his childhood and how he grew up and all this other stuff. Man, that was pretty amazing. His story's pretty amazing. So if you guys are, want to check out some good content, or you're into definitely into motorcycles and that type of stuff, that's your dog. That's your guy right there. I mean, he is freaking awesome. Really good channel. He says, "Happy birthday, Bad Dog, my brother. Salute, Chris. Let's do a Giants party with you two calling the game live."
I would love to do that. I would love to do that. It takes some organization in, maybe we could, I don't know, but I know Bobby and Justin do that with Talking Giants. You'd have to obviously get it funded. You go to the bar and, maybe it's $20 a ticket, whatever, but that, I don't know how they do it, but I'm sure it's something along those lines, but I would love to do something like that.
Yeah, that would be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
That would definitely be a lot of fun. We might have to plan it in the future.
Yeah.
Again, it's never me because my kid's still young, but he's getting older and he's just becoming more and more independent. It's crazy. Like, I swear to God, my kid, like, he went from 5 to 6, and it's like he went from 5 to like 14. It's crazy how big he's getting and how, like, just
they grow fast, man.
Freaking smart as shit. That kid, I swear to God, man, I don't know how he knows the stuff he does. I don't know how he knows words he knows. I'm like, where do you learn this stuff? Like, it's insane, the things he picks up. It's crazy.
Well, it's because of the internet, the world we live in today. Everything's
I guess. Like,
yeah.
He's smart.
They're like sponges, kids, right? They soak everything in. Yeah.
He says, I don't like how they did Saquon, but let's be honest, he's still rich. Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, I don't think it's a Saquon thing. Like, I don't think it was anything personal against Saquon. I just think that position is just getting phased out, and it's just not important. It's one of the least important. It might be the least important position on offense.
Yeah. I don't. Now, I'm not saying that Saquon is the least important player on our offense,
right,
but the position, it is the least important position on offense because it's the most replaceable. So, yeah, I don't know why this has suddenly become a topic. Like, this is, if you're an NFL fan, this has pretty much been common knowledge since like 2000, like maybe like 2005. Like, it's been.
All right, you're muted.
It's crappy, Mike. This goes back to like DeMarco Murray when he was with the Cowboys. Remember, he led the league in rushing. Yep. They let him go. He goes to the Eagles. They pay him a boatload of money. It doesn't work. Like, the Patriots started the trend with Bill Belichick with the running back by committee, but I don't know why people are like surprised by this. This has been going on for like 20 years that the league has not prioritized the running back position. And the only running backs that get the big contracts anymore are guys that stay healthy their first 3 years and they're elite, and then they threaten to hold out, and then they've gotten paid. McCaffrey and Farrah come to mind. But since the Zeke deal blew up in their face, the Le'Veon Bell deal blew up in their face, the Todd Gurley deal blew up in their face.
I think the Zeke and Gurley deals were the ones that cemented it.
Teams aren't going to do it. And if they're going to do it, it's going to happen quicker than after 5 years for a player, especially a player that's had injury history. So I'm not surprised that the Giants weren't willing to give him a McCaffrey-like contract. They shouldn't have. Yeah.
Big Moo thing with Super Chat says, what's it going to cost to stop you from playing the Golden Girls music? You're killing me. I haven't played that a lot today. I played it at first. It's the $5 one. That's the $5 sound clip. But, it is what it is. But I haven't played it for every $5 one. I played it for Toasty because he mentioned it. That's it. I hadn't played that in a long time. So, I don't know. It's not going to cost anything. It's just a soundboard, man. I like that fun. I told you I may be going on 50, but I'm still a kid. I have a Stream Deck. I like the sound effects. I'm a child. I don't know how to tell you. It's just I have fun. I have fun with it. Where are we on the likes, by the way? We are at 310 likes. Hit that thumbs up. That's always good. It helps out the screen. 310. Let's see if we can get to 400. Make sure you guys subscribe to Chris. Like I said, we're going to get him to 50,000. I got the 24-hour stream August 19th. But when Chris gets to 50,000, he's going to plan a 24-hour stream. So this is the year, football season. He gets a 50K and he does a 24.
I'll be dead, but yeah, I will do it, but it's just a matter of when I do it. But I will do it.
Raphael says we get some Trump. Well, I can do this for you.
We do a little trolling. It's called we do a little trolling.
We do a little trolling, quite frankly. Sometimes, Donald Trump he comes out to this stream. Some people don't like him, but most people do. They love me because why not? Because I'm Donald Trump. And look at my competition, Ronda Ceremonious, whatever the hell I call him. He's not doing great things. Quite frankly, I'm going to do things great. We're going to come in. Remember, vote for Trump. You should vote for America. Remember that. We're going to bring it back strong. Big strong guys. We're going to have wonderful things here in 2024. Cresley, thank you for the super chat, brother. Appreciate it. He says, since we are having fun, you also do a mock play-by-play call of a Giants touchdown versus the Cowboys.
All right. I'll do it right now.
Mute my TV. All right, let's go. Let's do it.
Here we go. Giants coming out here, 3rd and 13. 13 seconds to go in the game. Giants have it at the Dallas 9.
Come on, guys. Come on.
Giants trail by 4. Jones coming out in the shotgun formation. He's got 3 wide to the right. He's got a man in motion. It's Waller. Looks like Dallas is showing blitz. Parsons comes off the right side. Good job there by Thomas to pick it up. Jones drops back in the pocket, steps up, avoids the pressure, throws deep to the corner of the end zone. He's got Hyatt, and he brings it down.
Yeah! Let's go!
Stand up, New York Giant fans.
And the 7's coming to chat. That's what I'm talking about. There you go. There you go. I love it. Love it. That's awesome. That'd be awesome if that happened. Maybe not even at the end, just in general.
Oh, yeah. I can't wait. I can't wait to start calling Giant games.
Yeah. More workout videos, King Pookie. I have some shorts I'm gonna put up there, but yeah, I gotta do more of that stuff for sure. I was just said I'm lazy. I don't know. It's hard because, man, like I said, I work full time. I do this. I work out, and when I actually have like free time, it's just like sometimes I just want to. Well, what I have to start doing, what I really do want to do on that channel, not only just show some workouts, I want to react to videos of these idiots trying to sell you supplements and fat burners and all this shit. I eat pizza and I do this. You just got to take this pill before you go to bed. It's horse shit. That's what I want to do on that channel. I want to make people understand that it's not easy. If it was just a pill, nobody would need to worry about losing weight.
Of course.
But by the way, they say this. I love this. Take this drink. All you're doing is adding calories. You don't nothing. There's no chemical that's going to get in your body and burn the fat off. You have to be in a caloric deficit. That's it. That's the way you do it.
It's math. But by the way, Bad Dog, this year I'm gonna ask the guy that did that highlight video for us. I want to get video clips over us doing the play-by-play. I think that'd be awesome.
Yes.
Every week, some weeks are gonna be more fun than others. But every week having a maybe like a 3-minute video where you have the video clip over the play-by-play. I think that'd be cool.
That would be. Juan, thank you for your first ever super chat, brother. Really appreciate it. Let's bring up the old Rick Flip. Thank you so much for the $2 donation, brother. Much, much appreciated. And again, thank you guys for all the birthday wishes. Much appreciated. Irish Rover, thank you for dropping a link to my fitness channel right there. You can check that out. But I do have to. That's the type of stuff that I want to do for sure. Demons Rose said, "I'll put money up for the." You're the man, brother. You're the freaking man. I'd like to meet Demons Row. It's just like I said. I watch his videos. I listen to what he says. I'm like, we're very. I'm not gonna. I don't like asking people how old they are, but I'm guessing he's not in his 20s. He's been around. So I think we might. I'm probably older than him, but I'm thinking we're not extremely far apart. He might be about your age. I'm guessing.
Yeah.
So
I've seen a couple. Yeah, I would say about 4. Yeah, around my age, probably.
Somewhere in between.
Yeah.
Fabian, thank you for being a member for 1.5 years, brother. Protection, let's go. Can't wait. You guys rock. Thank you, man.
What's up, Killen?
Yeah, man.
I see. All right, the 1-chip challenge. I'll do on the 50K stream. I forgot about that because I took a break from YouTube. The 1-chip challenge. That'll be one of the things I do on the 24-hour stream when I do it. So there you go, guys. I know I still got to do that. I forgot about that.
I forgot what the.
I think I said if they want a playoff game, I would do it. So yeah, I completely forgot about that because I wasn't very active after the season. Then we had the draft. I will do that on the 50K stream. 50K.
There you go. So let's get Chris to 50K this football season. 24-hour stream, 1-chip.
They even still sell those at that point.
And he shaves his head. No, I did have my head shaved. DWG's always really been, and he just had hip surgery. And I saw him. Somebody, it was an unfortunate situation. Somebody that we knew that they had someone in the family pass away. So I saw him at the wake, and he had like it looked like a stroller, but it was him walking. And no DWG, to see the man in sweatpants, that's not him, because he is a clothes horse. Like I told him, like, you got to take me. We got to go shopping. You got to hook me up. You got to show me how to dress. And I kind of figured it out on my own. Like I dress a lot better than I used to now, but it's still, he's like, you got to get a tailored suit. He's like, oh man, he goes, I can dress you up better. He's like, he's like, you have such a good physique. You have a good build. We got to get you, like, you need slim fit, athletic cut. He knows all this stuff.
Yeah.
I want to ask if he gets
a fashion guy.
I would love to get him for a 24-hour stream. Everybody loves DWG.
Oh, he's a great guy.
He's just so, but yeah, you met him.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
I just remember we have when I meet you, you're just like, a DWG is way bigger than I thought he was.
Yeah, he's huge.
Big guy.
Yeah.
He's 6'7". He is definitely a big
and
guy.
I think Kid Blue being there made him look even bigger.
Yeah.
I thought Kid Blue was your kid.
Yeah, right.
When I first saw him, like, is that your child?
He's actually taller than Kid Blue now. He's love you, Kid Blue. The one picture outside the hotel with DWG and Kid Blue, that was funny.
Yeah.
That was funny. I know I still have that picture on my I might not have it anymore. I did have it on my computer someplace, and I might have got rid of it, which sucks. It's probably in my save files. It's just not on my, but I still had that picture. Not of him and Kid Blue, but like, us at the game, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah, it was awesome.
John, thank you for the super chat, brother. Appreciate it. Out of respect for Big Moo, I'm not playing the Golden Girls for the $5 super chat. Let's just say that. When I do a basketball stream, if he's not in there, or baseball, he says, stand up. Better off here. Sorry to hear that, John. I forgot how much I missed hearing you guys do play-by-play. So thank you guys. Also, today is my birthday. Today is my birthday, John. But thank you, man. And yeah, man, we miss all you guys. I said this last week when Chris and I did the show. Like, when the draft is over, I think about football for about a week. Maybe the first week of May, and then I completely forget about it. Like, I don't think about it. I don't watch it. I don't talk about it. And you just kind of forget about it. But as soon as I did that show with Chris and Patty, we'd rock, ready to go.
No, we're here. We're basically a month away. We're a month away from a little more, but from preseason, we're less than a month away. So, that first preseason game, I think that's when even though it's usually the backups, you start to get your juices flowing. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah. Ryan, thank you for the super chat. That's what you were talking about.
Yeah. I'm sure he heard it after he donated, but yeah, I'm going to when I do the 50K stream, I will do it. I feel like that's an appropriate stream to do it because you got to fill up time. You got to do something. So I will do it for that.
Big Mush says today's my mom's birthday. It might take you all 24 hours for your mouth to cool down.
Yeah, I don't know when I'll do it during the stream. It'll
when you're tired, it'll wake your ass up.
Yeah, maybe it'll be in like the 18th hour or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Eric D, thank you so much, man. Really appreciate the super chat. Big Mush said his mom's birthday. It's A-Rod's birthday today. I share a birthday with Alex. He says, play F. Oh, Mary F. Kill the Golden Girls. Okay, well, that's kind of rough, but I definitely marry Rose. I would have to kill Dorothy because she might be able to beat me up. And Blanche, because she was the youngest, is the one you got to F. Because she was the slut, right? So
yeah, that would be the one that I would as well. Yes.
Yeah, Sophia is just Sophia. You do all that, and Sophia makes a dinner. Dylan says I never saw the Golden. Yeah, well, if you're young, it was an '80s show, and it's '80s into the early '90s, and that's when I did it. There was something I thought I saw up here that. Oh no, I know what I wanted to do. So I wanted to talk. Did you see the new thing? Like, I know you showed me the clip of Sean McCoy saying, "Oh, Daniel," and it's just so stupid. It was more so when he said Tyrod Taylor can do what Daniel Jones did. That kind of agitated me. So they did a show yesterday. I don't know if you saw it.
No, I didn't see it.
So Tiki said Daniel Jones is potentially be a top 5 quarterback.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Okay, well, so they talked about that. Now, personally, I don't think, and I like Daniel Jones, and I think Daniel Jones can be a top 7 or 8 quarterback, but I'm not putting him in a top. He's not. He is not those guys. I don't care. He could have a great year. He's not Allen. He's not Mahomes. He's not Herbert. He's not Trevor Lawrence. He's not Joe Burrow. This is no knock on Daniel Jones. Those guys,
I think I could agree with that.
those are the elite quarterbacks.
Yeah.
In the league. Okay, they are elite.
I'll never say never, but yeah, it's gonna be very hard for him to enter. Yeah.
I can't put him there yet.
Yeah, and no, he's nowhere near it yet. Nowhere near it. Yeah.
So they're talking about how, Kirk Cousins is better than Daniel Jones, and Dak Prescott's better than Daniel Jones, and Matt Stafford and Kyler Murray. Like Joey Taylor's like, Kyler Murray when he's healthy. I'm like, Kyler Murray has more talent, but he ain't better. He don't work. Daniel Jones works.
I mean, it depends on how you're evaluating these guys. If you're evaluating off their careers, of course, Dak Prescott's better, but because he's had a longer career. But if you're evaluating them off the here and now, which is what you should be evaluating them on, if you're asking me right now, and I'm sure some Giants fans think I'm crazy for saying this, and some Cowboys fans that may be listening may think I'm crazy for saying this, who would I rather have on the Giants as the quarterback right now, Dak Prescott or Daniel Jones? I'm taking Daniel Jones 10 times out of 10.
Who is in a better situation?
10 times out of 10. I think Daniel Jones is on the come up. And he could run. So I would take Daniel Jones over Dak Prescott right now. For a career, of course not. How could you say that right now? But yeah, I guess it all depends on how people evaluate these rankings. I would take him over Stafford too. Stafford's like 36, 37 years old. He's clearly on the downside of his career. So yeah, I disagree. Same thing with Cousins. I think Cousins is approaching the downside of his career. He's had incredible weapons while he was at Minnesota. I look at Daniel Jones as improving. I look at those guys as guys who have peaked, who are probably going to start to decline soon.
Right. Here we go. So I'm going to tell you what I wrote on this. So this is what I put. I said, well, you know me. I started in typical Bad Dog fashion, okay? You got to always let them know where it's at. So I started in typical Bad Dog fashion. I said, this show is hot garbage. I said, Kirk Cousins has Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen, TJ Hawkinson. Dak, and in parentheses, Dak led the league in interceptions last season in 12 games. He has CeeDee Lamb, Michael Gallup, and a great offensive line while having a lower quarterback rating in QBR than Daniel Jones. So how can you possibly say Dak Prescott's better? I said Jones' top receiver was Richie James for most of the year, and his O-line was not good.
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts has, and I'm not saying Daniel Jones is better than Jalen Hurts, but Jalen Hurts has arguably the best team around him in the NFL. Two top offensive line, 2 1,000-yard receivers, a top 5 to 10 tight end, and Dallas Goedert. He threw for 7 more touchdowns than Daniel Jones. I said Hurts also had 60 more rushing yards on 45 more carries. And I said the mainstream media and these clowns are such a joke, just spew trash without any facts critical thinking. I said, no, I don't think Daniel Jones is a top 5 quarterback, and then parentheses, Mahomes, Burrow, Allen, Trevor Lawrence, Herbert have exceptional talent, but Jones can easily be a top 8 quarterback. And then some other guy said Tiki Barber must be smoking dope, and I put that in quotes that says the dope with the man bun. So, you know, it is what it is. But just hate, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And I don't care. Like I said, people, you thought about that. Yes, I did. Not anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I think I definitely could give you a top 8 quarterback. I'm not, we're saying could be. I definitely think he could be a top 8 quarterback. And I would take him above some of those other guys that you mentioned because I think he's ascending and I think his ceiling is relatively high. So that's how I would evaluate him.
He's got better weapons.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's my opinion.
Pat Mahomes don't have a top wide receiver. He's got Travis Kelce, man. That is a top
receiver. And let's be real. Pat Mahomes is Pat Mahomes.
Right.
Those guys, he's a once in a 20-year quarterback.
We're not comparing Daniel Jones to Pat Mahomes,
Yeah.
David, thanks so much for super chat, brother. He says, happy birthday, Bad Dog, and Andy Reid wants an horse and cake.
Wearing Eli jersey. I got 5 Eli jerseys in my closet. Which one you want me to wear, Barbara?
Many
I've worn them several times on stream.
No cake today. You got to wait for my cheat day. But that's very close. Saturday. So we'll have a little, maybe not cake, but some cannolis. Just gotta have the cannolis. You gotta have a good cannoli, Chris. You gotta have a good cannoli.
Yeah,
for sure. The cannolis. They're the best thing in the world. The cannoli. You gotta have the cannolis.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna get my Eli jersey for Barbara. She wants me to wear my Eli jersey. I'll be right back.
Barbara's trolling Chris today. Irish, thank you for the super chat, brother. Appreciate you. Says I'm super excited. I scored 2 club tickets at a Giants game in Dallas at AT&T Stadium. My son and I represent Big Blue to death. That is awesome. Irish, that is one place I definitely have got to get before I leave this earth is Dallas, just to experience it. Again, I think once my son is older, I mean, this may, and it may be when I retire. I mean, I may be in my 60s. This may be 10. I'm thinking about 12 years. I can go. At 59, I think I could go, but we'll see. So, between 10 and 15 years, then I probably start doing a lot more, which is the reason I want to stay in good shape so I can do that type of stuff. And he'd be older. Maybe he'd be into it. He could come with me. But definitely, and I have got to get to a Sooner game before I go. Like I have to go to Norman, Oklahoma. That has to happen. And thank you so much for the super chat, my friend. I really appreciate it. He says, I'm in Vietnam for the next few weeks on business, but I'm here being faithful, watching here in my Airbnb. Happy birthday, brother. Thank you so much. God bless you and the G-Man. Thank you, man. I really, really appreciate that. What time is it in Vietnam? Chris got the Eli managers.
There you go, Barbara. So I like Eli.
I just want to check the poll here. What do we got? It's close. Well, Rose is leading at 36%, and then the rest, Blanche 22, Dorothy 23, and Sophia 20. So, Rose, you win. Rose wins. There it is. Okay. Thank you, AJ. Appreciate it. Barbara's in the chat. Barbara's always in the chats. I think she's trolling you. I don't know.
Yeah, I think she is.
Deke, Big Mush, Dylan, what's going on, guys? Dante Costa, Ricky Ramirez. Thank you all for being here. Xavier says, I'm starting to think Wandale's injury prone, but why? He's had one injury. He's coming off the injury.
Who is it?
Wandale.
Wandale's not going to play. I think, if I had to guess, I don't think Wandale will play. I'm probably in a full capacity until like at least week 10 or 11. Like, I think they're going to ease him in with kid gloves if I had to guess with Wandale. But maybe I hope I'm wrong, but that's what I think is going to happen.
Michael's in Vietnam. It says 9:31 a.m. in Vietnam. So you guys are 11 hours in front of us over here. Is it 4:20 someplace? Anybody know?
Smoke weed every day.
Well, not it's 4:32 someplace. Maybe not 4:20.
Yeah, you always got to drop that one. That's a hot drop. Anytime we get Nate Dogg, rest in peace, my friend. Deke says cannolis are basically egg rolls with frosting. Yeah, an egg roll shell is different, but a cannoli, well, it's not frosting, it's a filling. And I mean, pretty much all cannoli filling is the same. The shell is what makes a cannoli a good cannoli. It is all about the shell. There's no question about it. Yeah. I've never had bad cream in a cannoli, but I've had some bad shells, soggy shell. Like, that's not right. They're supposed to be crispy and flaky. And sometimes,
I like the mini cannolis the best personally. But you can't go wrong with a good cannoli, regardless if it's the big cannoli, the mini cannoli. They're all good.
That's what she said.
Yeah.
Eric, thank you for the super chat. You the man, brother. Appreciate it. What is that little guy?
That's Yoda.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Baby Yoda. It's from the Mandalorian show.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
He says, I forgot I'm a longtime Giants fan. My first NFL jersey was a Phil Simmons jersey. Who's your Giants go? LT. I don't even need to.
Well, in terms of, it has to be LT. If you're talking about the greatest player in franchise history, it's LT.
Yeah. There's
Eli's my favorite player, but LT is the GOAT.
Giants says, if I were to make my own hash, I'd sponsor Baddog for the wonderful. I don't partake. I sell merch, which is the hottest selling merchandise in my store. And I always show love to the 420 crew. I have no idea why I said that or how it started, but man, did people love that. So, yeah, my guy Harrison, rather.
What's up, Harrison?
Down there in Dan Under, like our boy Lucas stand there. Yes, you guys are way ahead of us, 16 hours ahead. Love staying up 2:33. Well, it's got to be in the afternoon in New Zealand, right? You guys are 16 hours ahead. You're all the way across the world. Love staying up late. Love staying up late to watch training camps.
2:33 a.m. for him.
Yes, it would be like 4 o'clock in the morning.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Harrison's awesome. Been with our channels forever.
I know. I learned the time zones really well doing Laker streams because it's so global. I like learn all the. It's pretty crazy. Big mush. I do have a guy. Oh, the Bob Ross. Very nice. Very nice. Michael says my favorite Giants, Bavaro. I love Bavaro. That's the next jersey I got to get. I got to get a Mark Bavaro jersey. I don't know why I've skimped on that one, but
I think he's definitely a popular favorite Giant. I mean,
because he was
got to
just
be. Yeah,
he's a tough son of a bitch. That was those teams. They were just tough. Just those Giants teams just kicked your ass. There was nothing finesse about those. They were just sledgehammers. they were, man.
Yeah.
That line, those linebackers, that offensive line, guys like Bavaro, they just were. Joe Morris, he was, not tall, but he was jacked as shit. He was strong. O.J. Anderson was like running into a truck. Like, that's just what we had. Ronnie Hampton was a big back.
Rodney Hampton was one of the first popular Giants when I started watching.
Yeah, and then you had, of course, Brandon Jacobs.
Love Brandon Jacobs.
Jesus. Yeah, he still looks like he could play. I follow him on Instagram. He posted. His kid is enormous. Hey, you ever see Brandon Jacobs' son? I think he's bigger than Brandon Jacobs, and he's like 16.
Jacobs was what, 6'4", 250?
Yeah, he's like, his kid's like 6'6" or 6'7".
Oh my God, is he a running back?
He's no, I think he's a lineman. And
Jacobs really played out of position because when Jacobs came into, there was no running backs like that, 6'4", 250. I remember when we drafted him, like, holy crap, I thought he was a linebacker with his dimension. So
he was a lot of fun to watch.
He was bigger than the linebackers. The linebackers would be scared to tackle him.
2 hits, man. The one against Charles Woodson in the NFC Championship game when he just plowed him. But that LaRon Landry one, opening game of 2008, when he just floored him. And LaRon Landry was a big dude.
The one in the Green Bay game is still one of my favorite plays ever in Giants history. When he was just completely it was like a 2-yard run, but that just set the tone for that entire game.
It did. And legend has it, Charles Woodson still feels that every day when he wakes up. I felt it for him, and it was wrong.
Yeah.
Sean says, have you two heard about Joe Burrow and Jalen Ramsey both being carted off of training camp? So what happened in Burrow, I actually saw it.
It was a calf.
It's a calf strain.
Yeah.
So it's not a torn calf. As a guy that has strained his calf, that's part of working out. I've done that a couple times. The first time it healed in 2 days, which that's not normal. Somebody told me at the gym, they're like, you healed like that because you have Wolverine calves. The second time I did it, it took a few weeks. It depends on the grade. Grade 1 strain is about 4 to 6 weeks. Grade 2 strain is about 6 to 8 weeks. Grade 3 can take 6 months. So depending on the severity of it. When he went down, I thought right away, I'm like, he popped a calf. And I thought it was a strain, just by the way, because that's what happened to me. And but I know, like, Josh Donaldson for the Yankees has a grade 3 calf strain. He's out for the year. He's on a 60-day IR.
Well, that's good. Not that you should be happy he's hurt, but that's
it doesn't hurt us anyway.
That's not a bad thing for the Yankees. What a garbage! Is that the worst signing in like ever? Like
it's a trade, but yeah,
trade. Yeah, acquisition.
All right. Listen, the Yankees need to do what the Giants did. They do.
Yeah.
I did the game. I streamed the game last night. Yankees won 3-1, and I could barely get through it. Like, I'm watching it, like the Mets and Yankees. I don't want to make it a baseball thing. I'm like, they're both so freaking bad.
Yeah.
They're so bad. What a disappointment these two teams are. And I'm just watching. I'm like, this has got to be the most boring ass game I've ever watched. Just so.
They both could finish in last place in their divisions.
I know.
Which is wild.
I want to say this is the latest the Yankees have been in last place. Of course, they play in a tough division, but it's
they still have a respectable record, but they're not for the Yankees. But they have a respectable record, but they're in last place.
Yeah, but it's the latest they've been in last place since 1992. It's insane. Yeah, it's been a long time, and they could finish last. Juan, thank you so much for the super chat, my friend. Appreciate you, brother. Says, hey, you guys going to the Dallas game? What do you recommend? A recommendation visiting New York City for the first time. I don't live down there, so it's hard for me to say. Like, somebody asked me in the chat earlier, like, Baddog, what's the best pizza place in New York? I don't live in the city, so
I would just Yelp it, to be honest with you, Juan. I go to the city.
Yelp. To choose from.
There's a lot of good places. I've been to so many. I can't even. That's usually what I do when I go into the city. I Yelp like the most popular places, and I pick one when it comes to pizza. So that's what I would do if that's what you're talking about. But I mean, of course, if you've never been to the city, you got to go to Manhattan. Like, that's the tourist.
Yeah, it is.
That's the tourist trap. But I would check out Brooklyn too. Downtown Brooklyn's definitely a really hopping spot, depending on your age. Yeah, that's where I would go. But
Manhattan's great though.
You got to go to Manhattan.
The only time I go to the city, unless I'm going to a Yankee game, is to go to Manhattan. That's it. I just go down, Broadway, Fifth Ave, all that good stuff. I do some shopping. We do a little shopping. Quite frankly, we do a little shopping. I've seen a number of plays down there. So
you can't really. It's very hard to get a bad slice of pizza in the city.
Yeah.
Very hard.
Yeah. Or a bad bagel.
It's just a matter of finding the best place, but
the delis are incredible.
Yeah.
The bakery. I mean, it's just New York is known for a lot of things, but food is definitely one of them.
Yeah.
You're not getting a better slice in the world. Well, maybe Italy. I shouldn't say in the world. I've never been to Sicily, so I don't know. I imagine that's pretty good.
Yeah.
But they always have this, Chicago pizza. And no.
Yeah, I will say I had Chicago pizza and I actually really enjoyed it, but I definitely prefer New York pizza, and there's no way I'd be able to eat Chicago pizza as frequently as New York pizza. Like, it's not even close, but it is good, but it's not New York.
Right. Pizza's like sex. Even when it's bad, it's good. So it really don't matter. But Chicago pizza don't hold a kid. Now, Chicago hot dog's good.
Yeah.
It might be better than a New York hot dog. I mean, I'm not a big hot dog guy. But pizza, you just give me the New York pizza all the time. Bronx Bombers, thank you for the birthday wish. Appreciate that. Oh, I didn't mean to click off of them. Amazing Guy says predicted division winners.
Okay. I'll start. I'll go Eagles. I don't want to say that, but I have to. I'll go Eagles. In the North, I'm going to go Lions. I think they're a team that's on the come up, and the Packers still could. Jordan Love could be a spark, and that's the beauty of the NFL. It's unpredictable. Maybe the Vikings, but I don't know. The Vikings, I think, tail off a bit this year. I think they were kind of a little bit of a fluky team last year. So I'm going to go Lions in the North. NFC South just sucks. I'm not going to go Panthers. They got a rookie quarterback. I'm not going to go Buck. I think I'm going to go the Saints in the South. West, I'll go Niners. AFC East, I'm going to go Bills still, but I think it'll be a really competitive division. I think the Jets will be good this year. Dolphins are good, but I'll go Bills. AFC North, you got to go Bengals, I guess. But again, Browns could surprise. Watson. The Steelers are always competitive, and the Ravens. Ravens could definitely win that division. That's a great division. But I got to go Bengals. As long as Burrow's good, which it appears he is. AFC South. Jags. Lawrence. Jags. And then the AFC West, you got to go Chiefs. I
don't know the only thing I might change there, you said Niners in the West, right?
Yeah, Niners, yeah.
The only thing I might give the North to the Vikings.
Yeah,
even though they don't have Dalvin Cook, but I know the Lions are ready to they're better. I don't know if they're ready to take that step yet, because they also had a couple of fluky wins.
Yeah, for sure.
So I still will probably lean Minnesota there. AFC East, I got to give it to the Bills still. South, I would give it probably to like you said, the Saints, because they have the best quarterback in that division. I don't think it's close, and it's Derek Carr. Yeah. Oh, by the way, people are like, "Oh, Daniel Jones got overpaid. Daniel Jones got well." Daniel Jones just took another step back, because if you saw Justin Herbert's contract, wow, it's the highest paid quarterback in the league.
200, and don't get me wrong, Baddog. I agree with what you said earlier. In terms of talent, he's a top 5 quarterback in the league. But Justin Herbert has accomplished nothing in the NFL other than putting up stats to this point. $219 million guaranteed. Daniel Jones got 81.
I know,
or whatever it was.
That's what I'm saying. It's just
he got more than double guaranteed money.
They're like, Daniel Jones overpaid. I'm like, by this time next year, he's gonna be in the middle of the pack.
He already is. I think he's the 12th or 13th highest.
Oh, yeah, it was. I'm just thinking about this now, Chris. It wasn't so much Shady McCoy in that. I know who the man bun guy is on Speak. The dude said Daniel Jones was like a top 25 quarterback. I wanted to punch him. And I'm like, you're saying Tiki Barber's on dope? Daniel Jones is a top 25? I don't know who that guy is. I don't watch FS1. I don't know why anybody would. But if you do happen to watch that show, who's the man bun guy? I'm sure somebody will say it in the chat. listen, none of those shows are any good. They're
Yeah,
not.
they're garbage.
They're garbage. They all have a script that they have to read off. That's why YouTube is the best. We don't have a script to read off. We're going to tell you how it is. We're going to tell you how we feel. I can tell you I'm wrong. I can tell you, I'm never going to come on here and go, well, I was right. I don't do that. But I'll tell you when I'm wrong. I'll tell you when I made a mistake. It's going to happen again. I'm going to be wrong again. I'm human. So
I'm gonna look it up now just so I'm factually accurate in terms of the quarterback contracts.
Yeah. Chris, thank you so much for the super chat. I got another gym, right? Which you always got to appreciate the gym bros. Happy birthday, Bad Dog. Thank you, Chris, man. Really, really appreciate it, brother. Hope you had a killer workout. I did arms today. It's why a couple of times I flex because they got a nice pump. When I got the pump going on, we like to show off the arms because when I don't have a pump, it's like they disappear and they suck. So when I do arms, it's like I gotta pose a little bit and look at that. And then I get home and I'm like, where the hell my arms go? And that's
okay. So Daniel Jones, Baddog, I'm looking at it in terms of total guaranteed money right now. He's 12th, and that is only because Rodgers took a pay cut. Otherwise, he would have been 13th already. Yep. And that's before Trevor Lawrence signs. That's going to knock him to 13th. Burrow's going to knock him to 14th. Tua, if he signs, will knock him to 15th. If Justin Fields is as good as people are making him out to be, it'll knock him to 16th. So in like 2 years, even maybe by the start of next year, he's going to be like 15th.
That's insane. He'll be in the middle of the pack next year. So how did they
which, by the way, is not even middle of the pack because half the league are on rookie contracts. So they have no choice but to play on that. Guys that had the opportunity to get a second contract, he's going to be like one of the lowest. He's going to be one of the 2 or 3 lowest. You can't count rookie contracts.
No, of course not.
Yeah.
It's TJ Hushman. That was TJ Hushman's out on that. It's too bad because I used to like him as a receiver for the Bengals. And TJ Hujimama. That was a draft commercial years ago. TJ Hujimama. I'm going to start saying TJ, who's your daddy? Because you keep talking shit about Daniel Jones. I'm going to show you who your daddy is, TJ. That was a trash take. You have no business. Listen, you have no business. I have said to people, I was tough on Daniel Jones. I have no question about that. But people can say you were hard on and I was. Going into last year, you're never going to find any receipt, any video, anything me talking. And I don't delete my videos because I don't care if I'm wrong. I never said I wanted to draft a quarterback. Was dead set against it. Never said I wanted Tyrod Taylor to start at any time. Said I want Daniel Jones to start. He's got to give us the best chance to win. Whether I was on board with him coming back this year or not, no. But now I've watched him play under Daboll, knowing what they have. Now I'm excited about it. Seeing that he turned the corner, seeing that we had 5 game-winning touchdown drives, seeing the confident quarterback, seeing him do things that I didn't think he could do. Yeah. Okay, I'm not an NFL analyst. I'm not on television. How the hell does a guy get onto because he's a former NFL player? Well, he doesn't know shit. You got to be stupid to go, he's a top 25 quarterback. I don't care how much you hate Daniel Jones or don't like him or want him to fail or you don't want to admit that you were wrong because you can't. I can. Maybe they can't. But to say there's 24 quarterbacks better than Daniel Jones, you're an asshole or you're not watching the game or you're just being an idiot. The man bun's too tight, buddy.
Let's be honest, Bad Dog. Let's be honest. If he was the 25th, I don't care how good of a coach Brian Daboll is. Like, Brian Daboll could be Bill Parcells. If Daniel Jones was the 25th best quarterback in the NFL last year with the Giants roster, they wouldn't have made the playoffs.
Exactly.
They wouldn't have made the playoffs. The Giants had one of the worst rosters in football.
Exactly.
Look at the roster. We had the
one receiver was Richie James for most of the year.
Arguably the worst wide receiving core. We had a bad line. If he was the
first year under the system,
it's ridiculous.
How many wide receivers did we go through with injuries? Lost Shepard, lost Wandale. Just such a. I'm like, come on, man, it's just dumb. Sky, thank you for the super chat, brother. Appreciate it. He says, "Happy birthday, Bad Dog." P.S. Boone sits down to pee. I believe he does. I believe you're right. I definitely do. And he wipes. I don't think Boone washes his hands either. The one thing I'll give Boone credit for, Boone has a lot of different watches, and I am a big watch enthusiast. Like, I love watches. I love luxury watches. I always have. I always will. I don't collect them like I do sports cards because they're expensive, and I can't just walk around. I'll take a Rollie. I'll take a Breitling. I'll take an A. Longue and Sonnet. I'll take a Patek Philippe. I can't afford that. So that Patek Philippe's are worth more than my house. It's stupid how much some of these watches are. Wow. But like an Omega, an Eberhard, like I like those things. An IWC, they're nice. Boone always has a different watch. So I always give Boone credit. I'm like, he's got a good watch collection.
He's got good taste.
But he doesn't watch the fucking game. So that's my take on Boone. Eric, thank you so much for the super chat, my friend. Appreciate you. He says, ever try Prince Street Pizza in New York? I have in Hollywood, California. It's amazing. Bad Dog, how did you celebrate your birthday? Eat cake and eat presents. So no cake. I'll do it Saturday. This weekend we'll celebrate my birthday. Yes, I did get a pair of sunglasses.
There you go.
From Mrs. Bad Dog, and I had a little Bad Dog, so designer sunglasses. By the way, I don't know if Demon's Rose still in here. I told you, man, we think alike. Like I have a pair of Burberry sunglasses, and they got me a pair of Versace sunglasses for my birthday, and I saw he had Versace, Dolce & Gabbana. I'm like, you and the right down to the designer sunglasses were the same. It's pretty funny. But no, we'll go out to dinner. I want to go to Hibachi because it's like
yeah.
Or maybe Delmonico's because I could always get some chocolate martinis and a veal parm and whatever. But we'll do something Saturday.
There you go.
But, yeah, and then I get my in-laws just give me cash. My mother gives me scratch offs. I'm almost 50. It's not like we're getting anything.
Yeah, it's not like
it's just hanging. I just like hanging out with my family. To me, honestly, I do really appreciate all the birthday wishes. You guys have been awesome. I really do appreciate it. But at this day, until I reach 50, it's just kind of like another day. Like it's not a
same thing with me. It's more so just going out to dinner with your family. That's what I do on my birthday. I don't really do anything else extravagant.
We always have a cookout, like for everybody's birthday. My in-laws
Yeah.
always have a cookout, in the backyard, hang by the pool. That's always fun. Like I enjoy. That's why I love the summer. I'm glad I have a summer birthday because I can do that. I know your birthday's in November, so not as likely.
No. You usually just go out to dinner, Italian, maybe get.
That's the thing. I just honestly, at this juncture in my life, I really just like spending time with my wife and son. I just really just a nice, quiet dinner with those. That's one of the things I look forward to every week is Saturday night dinner with my wife and my son. Picking a different. We all get to pick. We all get to choose someplace. Like I pick a restaurant, then she picks one, then he picks one. Kevin always like, can we go to Blaze Pizza?
The LeBron place?
Blaze, no, Blaze. That's not LeBron. Blaze Pizza.
I thought he owned. Maybe it's not Blaze. He owns a.
Maybe he does. I think it's a chain. I don't think.
Yeah, he owns a chain. I think that's the one he owns.
Yeah. So that could be. I mean, I'm sure.
Or he's at least a partial owner. I don't know if he's like the.
So we go there. You make your own pizza. You can get a thin crust, but he likes a kid can eat like a whole pizza. He doesn't understand the crust is the best part yet. He eats around the crust. He'll learn. But that kid hammers. But that's what he'll pick. Or he likes chilies. Which I like chilies. Me, it's usually I like hibachi. I like Delmonico's. I like Italian. I like Mexican food. But yeah, that's fun. I just like being able to go out with them and just have a nice night with my family. That's
what it's about, man.
What it's all about. Yeah. Peter, thank you so much for the super chat, my friend. Appreciate you. Says, what an unjust world we live in, where a piece of garbage like DJ get paid $40 million and poor Joe Burrow gets a boo-boo.
What's going on, Pete, man? Good to see you, man.
Of course. Yeah, poor Joe Burrow. He'll be okay. I like Joe Burrow, man. I'm a big fan. But even if you look at that, you look at the pieces that Joe Burrow has, it doesn't hurt to have Jamar Chase. It doesn't hurt to have Joe Mixon. It doesn't hurt to have T. Higgins. Even Tyler, is it Tyler Boyd or
Boyd? Yeah.
Yeah. I don't hurt. That doesn't hurt at all.
No.
Tyler Boyd would have been our number one receiver last year.
He'd be Daniel Jones' best receiver he's ever had.
Joe Burrow is going to get a lot more than 40 mil than his. He's probably going to get 60 million.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Cole, thank you for the super chat. Top 5 games from last year ranked Giants only.
Okay. Got to start with the playoff game. That's got to be one, the Vikings game.
Absolutely.
Got to be. And then, I mean, there's 3 games that stand out to me early in the year that have to.
They're all going to be the same for us.
The Titans, because it set the tone, the 2-point conversion. The Ravens, obviously, and the Packers. Those 3 at the beginning. And then I'd say the Colts game for me, because that was where we clinched the playoffs. I was at that game. It was nice to see the fans appreciate Daniel Jones. Yeah, I mean, maybe you could say the Washington game, the game where Thibodeau took over with the strip sack, but I think those are my 5. I think I'd make the Colts my 5th.
Yeah, the only thing I think I would change is I think the Washington game, because Although the Colts actually clinched us if we lose that game in Washington or
It was a bigger game than Washington game. Absolutely. Yeah.
Thibodeau is the guy that really got us in the postseason with the strip. Because I remember, he had that safety in the first game, and they're like, "Oh, he should have got a strip." I'm like, "Are you kidding me?" So what does he do the next game? Okay, I hear this crap: strip sack, fumble, touchdown.
Yeah. That was kind of because we were definitely descending going into that game. Like we felt like maybe a 20% chance for making the playoffs, and we knew it was put up or shut up going into that game. And that was really the play that really got us back on track. So, yeah, the Washington game is the better game. I just was at the Colts game, so for me, that's in my top five.
And it pick six. Daniel Jones had a hell of a game.
Yeah, but yes,
the Washington game we got to celebrate. The fans got to celebrate at home a playoff berth, which we haven't had in 5 years, 6 years at that point. So,
yeah,
it was definitely a fun game. No question. Joshua, thank you so much for the super chat, my friend. Appreciate you. Says, happy birthday, Bad Dog. Thank you. Keep up the great work, guys. Oh, we will. I don't know if this is great work, but we'll keep up the work. We will.
What's going on, Joshua? Good to see you, buddy.
You're stuck with us now until February.
Yeah. We're lunatics. But good to see you, Joshua. Hope you're doing well, buddy.
Week for now, but pretty soon it'll be twice a week because we'll be doing the preseason games. We'll be doing the regular games, obviously. So it'll be twice a week. When Chris hits 50K, he'll have that 24-hour stream, and I'd certainly come on at some point.
Yeah, I'm excited for it, man.
Yeah, I'm excited for you to get to 50K. It's going to be great. It's going to be awesome. Jake, thank you for the super chat, man. Appreciate you. Says, we dealt with all the crap with Galladay and Tony last year, but this team just feels like family. Stand up. Yeah, it's a good point. They got rid of some crap. They got rid of some guys that just were locker room cancers.
Yeah, Dable came right in and they set the tone, man. Like they didn't say it, they didn't come right out and say it, but you heard the rumors that they were looking to trade Tony before the year started, and we didn't believe it, or we didn't know if it was true or not. I should say that we at least thought maybe it's possible. But yeah, I think he identified players that he's like, I don't want this guy a part of my program, and they got rid of them real quick. So yeah, they set the tone. They started to build the culture the way that they wanted to build it day one.
I just see this. I see Sky's taking some crap because he says KT's. I think he's talking about Kayvon Thibodeau, guys. I don't think he's talking about Kadarius Toney.
He's got to be talking about.
He's not. Kadarius Toney's not on this team anymore. Sky's talking about Kayvon Thibodeau, not because I see Sky. I hope you're joking. And Sky, are you smoking? No, it's Kayvon Thibodeau. What he's talking about.
I even said that before the year started. I remember somebody asked us who's the most overrated player on the team. I said it was Toney because he did nothing. He had that one game, and everybody made him out to be Odell Beckham.
He got thrown out.
Yeah, in a game where Dallas was up by like 30 points the whole game. They were playing zone defense. He's talented, but the guy's hurt again. He's never going to stay on the field.
It didn't really hurt my feelings.
I'm never happy when a player's hurt, but
I didn't say I was happy. I just said it didn't hurt my feelings.
Didn't hurt. I wasn't upset. I wasn't crying. Let's put it that way. Yeah.
Karma's a bitch. And and so is Kadarius Toney. I'm sorry. Sorry. The guy blocks me on Twitter. For no reason. No reason.
He's blocked everybody on Twitter. If you have not been blocked by Kadarius Toney on Twitter, you're not a Giants fan. Like he's blocked everybody on Twitter.
But he knew better. He knew not to pop off to me because I would have wrecked him. And he knew because he's going after people in like comments.
Oh yeah.
He just said, I want no part of that Bad Dog guy because he'll embarrass me. I'll do it anyway if I want to. But it really don't matter. Like I said, he's a chief. But it's just funny that ironic that he ended up hurting his knee after he was talking a lot of shit to Giants fans. And I don't know why he thought that you're not here anymore. We don't even play you. Like, who cares? If he beat us in a Super Bowl or beat us in a game, then I did it.
He helped us.
So I'm saying,
thank you, Tony.
Give me 10 middle fingers over the Eagles winning the Super Bowl any day.
No.
Any day.
I'm
happy that he played well for them. I'm happy that he contributed them to winning.
Yeah.
Oh. Amazing guy says, where'd that go? I blocked Tony. Probably better for you. Better for you. Dylan says, I've been blocking. I never tweeted at him.
He probably listened to our show and saw that you said something or whatever.
Maybe I mean, it wasn't just a show; it was like I know I went after him in videos.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty sure I said stuff about him on Twitter, but I never like added him. So I'm
Yeah.
like, how would he know I'm talking about him if I never like brought it to his attention?
Yeah.
Yeah, Young Joke is the one thing I'll continue to criticize him for is his rap. It should never be done. He should just stop.
Yeah.
You know, he just there's no talent. Like he's got talent. I'm not going to sit there and say Kadarius Toney isn't a talent that he is. Okay, he's a psycho, but his rap blows. He's got no talent there. Okay, no talent. I know rap. I know rap well. I know very talented rappers. We heard one earlier today because I didn't get to drop that until Lucas dropped it. But
Cash rules everything around me. Green, get the money. Dollar bill, yo.
that's rap. Everybody in the Wu-Tang Clan was great. Jay-Z, Busta Rhymes. You talking great stuff. Biggie, Pac, NWA, all the guys. Cube, Snoop Dogg. Well, Snoop wasn't in NWA, but Dr. Dre. I mean, come on, man. I lived that era. AZ, the most underrated rapper of all time. KRS-One, Mobb Deep, Nas Illmatic, one of the greatest of all, one of the greatest rap albums ever. I listen to all that stuff. Foxy Brown, Little Kim. I like Puff Daddy at the beginning. I didn't really like him afterwards, but
when he became P. Diddy.
Yeah, I didn't really like his stuff after that. But Cypress Hill, Tribe Called Quest, you name it, man. I love that stuff. I know talented rappers.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any today. They can't hold a candle to those guys. Maybe I'm biased.
I think most people feel, at least our age, younger kids.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe
Yeah.
That was amazing, though. I love that stuff. I tell you, I used to have Sirius XM, and they had something called Backspin. So Backspin, when I got Sirius XM, was all rap like that. It was rap from the 80s and 90s. It was the Cool Mo D's, the LL Cool J's, the Big Daddy Kanes, and the Wu-Tangs and all. I loved it. I wouldn't turn it off.
Mm-hmm.
And then it became LL Cool J's Rock the Bells. And
no.
It was like, not that I have a problem with Salt and Pepper, but I didn't want to listen to that for Salt and Pepper. And it was newer rap. And I'm like, no. And I got rid of Sirius XM because I'm like, they also got rid of the baseball. Like I used to be able to listen to all the baseball games and they made it a different. I'm like, I'm not paying for this shit anymore.
Yeah.
So I know
it became too mainstream.
Yeah. Kadarius Toney can't rap. he can't. Theodore, thank you so much for the super chat, my friend. Appreciate you. He says, do you think it'd be reasonable for Barkley to take legal action against Rock Nation for how they handled his negotiations? I will.
No, I don't. I mean, I do think they screwed him, but at the end of the day, he chose to stick with his representation. He could have done what Daniel Jones did. Daniel Jones changed representation, right? They were apparently they were having trouble getting the deal done. Like 3 weeks before they got the deal done, he changed agents. Saquon Barkley could do that. He didn't do that. He's got freedom to do that. So no, I don't feel particularly that bad for Saquon Barkley because he could have changed agents the entire process. He didn't do it.
I guess the way I look at it, Theodore, is I don't know under what grounds you would take legal action. I mean, you put a good amount of faith in your agents, and Barkley would have a say in this too. It's not like the agents just handle it and Barkley wasn't at those negotiations. I mean, I don't know. Maybe he wasn't. I'm assuming because I don't know who was there. But I would imagine Barkley had some say because the agent would have to go back and say, Saquon, this is what they offered. I can't imagine Saquon would be like, you pick what's fair.
Well, he even came out today and said, and I understand where he's coming from, but he even came out today and said he felt the Giants' offer was disrespectful. So Saquon obviously had a lot of say in it. It wasn't just the agent.
Yeah. But the agent screwed him. The agent overvalued the running back.
Oh, 100%.
So,
but
I mean,
he chose the agent. He could leave the agent whenever he wants.
Yeah. So, Josh, we're thinking of the super chat. Another guy. I blocked Tony before he could block me so that I didn't have to see his stupid nonsense. I don't know if I ever actually followed.
I think
I followed him on Instagram.
I may have. I honestly don't know I don't remember if I followed him. I don't follow him now. I don't think.
Me neither. But Rock Nation, we have a rock drop. You know what? Kadarius Tony, I got 3 words for you, Kadarius.
Shut up, bitch.
There you go. That fits into a T. One more time.
Shut up, bitch.
That's right, Kadarius Tony. But hey, man, this was a good stream. Training camp's underway.
I gotta get an air conditioner down here, like we said last week, because I am sweating again, man.
Well, listen, I looked at an air conditioner, and then I realized something. My alarm system is the part of the alarm is hooked up to that window. I could never set my alarm if I put an air conditioner in that window, and I don't want to keep putting an air conditioner in, taking it out, putting it in, taking it out. So I'm like, I can't put an air conditioner in down here. I have to just get like one of those cooling fans, and I could just sit it right next to me and have a blow on my legs, and it'd be good enough.
Yeah, there's no way I'm doing that 24-hour stream when it's hot. I'll say that. It's definitely gonna be like March.
Listen, pizza. Pizza's good for a 24-hour stream because you can eat it at any time.
Yeah.
You're probably not going to eat the whole thing in one sitting. So
I'll eat it during the 24 hours, probably.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. You get a pizza. It's good. Start with a cup of coffee. I would suggest going to Dunkin' Donuts or Starbucks or whatever your choice is, getting a big cup. Like my wife always comes and gets me a big coffee. Get energy drinks. Those C4s have really helped me get through those. Like I haven't been as tired at the end, and I think that has a lot to do with it. I drink like 6 of those. Everything you can find with caffeine. And do not drink a lot because it'll make you tired. You can have 1 or 2, but
I love this comment because people don't understand. Kingdom says fake Giants fans ridicule Saquon for trying to get his money. Chris will celebrate when Saquon gets touched. I have never once ridiculed Saquon for trying to get his money. I've stated my opinion that I think he made the wrong decision. I think Saquon has every right. I think Saquon has every right to feel like he got slighted. I've made several videos on it. I've been very outspoken saying that I wanted the Giants to extend Saquon on a multi-year deal that made sense for the team. I don't know what you're talking about. Saquon's my favorite player in the team.
Yeah.
I don't get it. But I don't slight him. I just think he made a mistake. I think he did. I could understand where he's coming from and still realize that him and his agent did not judge the market properly because they didn't.
Correct.
They didn't. That's why he got what he got. So
number one, doesn't make them fake Giants fans. I mean, everybody has a different opinion. Do fake Giants fans think that Daniel Jones got overpaid? If they say Daniel Jones got too much, does that make them a fake Giants? It's just an opinion. Yeah. But same thing. I never said, I understand where Saquon's coming from, but Saquon's agent overvalued the running back position. This has nothing to do with Saquon. It has everything to do with positional value. And as I mentioned in a number of videos as well, and in live streams, supply and demand drives every market. If you don't understand the basic concept of supply and demand, you're going to be bad with your finances. You're going to be bad with economics. You're not going to be successful. You don't understand how that works. In a nutshell, when the supply is very high and the demand is very low, and you can pick whatever you want, it's not worth anything, and vice versa. When the demand
by the way, his next comment, pull it up. I completely agree with it. But that's the rule. You can't fault the Giants for playing within the rules. Fault the NFL. That's the rule. And Saquon and his agent knew the rules. They knew the rules. They got offered a contract knowing full well that the Giants, if they signed Daniel Jones before the tag deadline, were going to slap the tag on him. They got offered a contract at the buy that was definitely worth more than what he ended up getting. And they said no. It's within the rules. The rules are not. It's not a good rule. The tag is not fair to running backs. But not everything in life is fair. I don't necessarily think it's fair that if I go 60 miles an hour in a 55 mile an hour zone, a cop gives me a speeding ticket. But it's within the rules. And Saquon Barkley and his agent knew the rules. They knew the ramifications that the Giants could tag him. So that's my perspective on it. I think they misjudged the market.
Yeah, they did. Listen, when the housing market is on fire, like I said in one of the videos, when people want to buy a house and there's not a lot available, somebody could be selling the house for $400,000. That's what they're asking. Yeah. Somebody could walk in there and go, "I'll give you $425,000 because I don't want someone taking it at $400,000. I really like your house. I'm going to give you more than you're offering." But when the demand is really low and there's a ton of houses on the market, that same house, someone could say, "I'll give you $350,000," and they may take it. Supply and demand rules everything. It has nothing to do with Saquon in general. It has to do with the running back market. Like I said, Miles Sanders had almost 1,300 rushing yards last year. He got $7 million. Dalvin Cook had a great season. Dalvin Cook is 27. He's one of the better running backs in the league without question. Easily top 10, maybe top 7, top 6. He can do everything. He's still out there.
Josh Jacobs led the league in rushing. Jacobs led the league in rushing last year.
Right. So
Jonathan Taylor's agent is getting into fights with Jim Irsay on Twitter because they're not extending Taylor right now.
It's just the way that market is, and it's unfortunate for the running backs, but it's not so much. And like you mentioned, during the bye week, guys, they didn't talk. That was a big thing. That was a big thing. They didn't talk to Daniel Jones about a contract extension in the bye week. They didn't talk to Daniel Jones. It was all about how they talked to Saquon Barkley. So Johnson's like, oh, they don't like Daniel Jones. And Daniel Jones didn't come back. They didn't even discuss his contract. Reason being, Patty mentioned this because they knew it was going to be easier to negotiate with Daniel Jones than it was going to be with Saquon Barkley. Yeah. But they tried. They tried to negotiate a number.
I think they were trying to find a way to make it all fit where they didn't have to use the tag, knowing that they were going to sign Jones. So they went to Barkley early on. They said, okay, they probably offered him around what they offered him at the end of the process. That's probably around what they offered him. If I had to guess, like 20 to 22 million guaranteed. And I understand Barkley's perspective because if Barkley wasn't tagged, he's worth more than that.
Of course.
But his agent and himself should have realized the Giants aren't going to just let him go. And you know what I'm saying? So the rules, I get it, are not fair, but they're the rules. And the rules are not going to change anytime soon. And this is not just Giants specific. This has been going on with running backs for the last, like I said, 20 years. It happened to Le'Veon Bell twice. It happens to every running back. Unless, like I said, they strike it big after 3 years. And Barkley would have struck it big after 3 years if he never got hurt. He got hurt.
Yep. And that was Gettleman's guy. He's not Shane's guy. But again, that statistic comes out. The last 10 Super Bowl champions did not pay the running back more than $2.5 million. That was the highest paid running back of the last 10 Super Bowl championship teams. So you got to wrap your mind around that. It's just the position, the way the game is played, it's just getting phased out. These guys beat this shit out of these kids coming out of college for 5 years and say, go ahead, your best years are behind you. We're not giving you any more money. We'll just get another one. And that again goes back to supply and demand. So now, like Chris said, if other guys are like, I'm not playing running back, and they become harder to get, then they're going to get more money. And Chris said this is Chris says a lot of good things, but this is one of the best things he said, honestly, when we were doing the show with Patty. There is no quarterback by committee. There is no left tackle by committee. There is no number one wide receiver or number one cornerback by committee. You don't alternate those. But there are running back by committee. It's very rare to see a running back get 30 carries a game. It doesn't happen anymore. Or maybe one game, but on a consistent basis. The last running back to get 350 carries was Ezekiel Elliott. And what's Ezekiel Elliott doing right now? Same thing we're doing. We're all just sitting here. Yeah. You don't have a team.
Yeah.
So again,
it's just the facts. You cannot replace Saquon Barkley with one player, but you can replace Saquon Barkley with a well-built team. It's just the facts. It's what the Giants did when they won their Super Bowls with Jacobs and Bradshaw. They're not 1/5 in terms of pure talent as Saquon Barkley, but we had the best rushing attack in football. Why? Because we had the league's best offensive line. And that's what Joe Schoen is trying to build. And that's what the good teams do. It's just the truth. Yep. So I can't fault the Giants for not wanting to commit multi-year deals to Saquon Barkley. And I also understand where Barkley's coming from because he's one of the best running backs in the league. And he's more than just your typical running back. So he thinks he's worth, and he is. Had he hit the open market, somebody would have gave it to him. But it's unfortunate. That's the way that it played out. It got messy, and I can't really fault either side. I'm just happy he's in camp, and it's about the Giants. It's not about Barkley. For me, it's about the team as much as I love Barkley. And I'm just happy he's playing for the team, and I think the Giants are going to be a much better team because of it.
Same here. Barkley, you wish you would have got more. The tag's not fair to Barkley. The running back market's not fair to Barkley, but at the end of the day, this is a business. And it is you have to put your personal feelings aside. You have to do what's best for the team. And not just in 2023, going forward, 2024, 2025, 2026, because you're giving these guys 3, 4, 5-year deals, and you have to think about the money going forward. So you can't just be like, well, we love him. He's a great guy. Here's your money. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah,
That's the type of thing Gettleman did. Do you think you're hard, not your head, and you end up in cap hell? And listen, Chris, you work for this the government of the state now, right? So
I'm a number. I'm a number, by the way, at the government. That's what you are. We're running backs. We're as government employees.
Well, you're union. The same thing to me. I work for the state. So you're a union. So anybody that's in a union knows the employees get screwed. We get something, but we always have to give more. We always have to give more back to get something. That's the way it goes. That's
and it's what when we talked about supply and demand on Patty's Stream, also it's to equate it to regular life jobs, to for people to sit there and say that Saquon Barkley deserves more money than Daniel Jones because he's a better player at his position is silly. Because the way I said it, Ben, I think what I said was, and this is obviously not a slight on Barkley. Barkley's one of the top 3 players on this football team. He's great.
Yes.
But the running back position as a whole is like a construction worker. It's like a replaceable position. Anybody could be a construction worker and I'm not saying anybody could be a running back, but I'm talking about in terms of value, in terms of replaceability. You can replace construction workers just like you can replace running backs. Quarterback position is like a doctor. You have to be very smart. You have to go to years of schooling. It's more valuable. It's harder to find. Much harder to find, and that's why the quarterback is worth as much as it is, and that's why the running back is treated the way it is. That's just the fact. Barkley is a very high-paid construction worker. Daniel Jones is an average-paid doctor. That's the way I look at it.
Yep, that's a good analogy right there. Mike Gorga, thank you. He says, "Bad Dog, Yossi's off the chart." Thank you, appreciate that very much. Thank you for always coming in here, Mike. We always appreciate seeing your lovely face here. We're ready. We're definitely ready for some big blue football. No question about it. We got rugby down here, but I love the Giants, so we're ready. We're ready. Good eye to everybody.
What's up, Mike? Good to see you, man.
Always nice to see you, mate. Thank you for being here. Sergio, thank you for the birthday wishes. And yes, now we're gonna try to get out of here. But again, I really appreciate you guys and girls hanging out with us. And again, thank you for all the incredible generosity and the birthday wishes. Much, much appreciated. Giants training camp's underway. Fair to Barkley or not, Barkley's in training camp. Andrew Thomas is here for the next 7 years. I like what Shane's doing, and I'm excited to see what this team can do as they go forward and get better and work on some things. And it's going to be interesting to see when we get to the preseason games, how much these guys play. I'm sure Jalen Hyatt's going to get a lot of time. I'm sure Deonte Banks. Listen, you don't want these guys to get hurt in the preseason, but Deonte Banks needs snaps. Like that's a guy that's going to need snaps. You're a number 1 corner or number 2 corner, whatever, an outside corner.
Yeah.
Rookie, you need to get used to NFL speed, the size of these receivers, that back shoulder throw. You really got to get used to all the stuff that they do. So the more experience the rookies can get in training camp, the better. And I think that I don't know how much John Michael Schmitz is going to play. I don't know how much it takes to be a center as opposed to a wide receiver and a corner.
He started today. That was like a headline from day one. He didn't start. He wasn't with the first team today. He was John Michael Schmitz.
Yeah. So, but again, thank you guys and girls for being here. Really do appreciate it, Chris.
Always have a lot of fun, man. Always love doing this. We'll be live on my channel either Thursday or Friday. We'll see what day works. Probably I'd prefer Thursday, but depending on our schedules. Excited to be back. Next week we'll have a preseason game. The next week, right? So we'll do the show and then we'll do our preseason game in the same week. So I'm looking forward to it. Thank you to everybody for being here. You guys are the best. Can't wait to talk to you guys soon as training camp gets underway. I think we have a practice tomorrow, and then I think they're off Saturday, I think, and then Sunday. Sunday there's a practice.
I think they're in the afternoon tomorrow.
They might be. I don't know. Yeah.
Listen, no matter what happens, right? We can't. I saw that it was a troll, like a joke. They're like, "Oh no, Daniel Jones threw an interception today." So just remember, no matter what happens, if Daniel Jones and I told myself this year, I don't care. Throw as many interceptions as you want, drops, all this stuff, because all we're doing is.
Coach, listen, we talking about practice, not a game. We talking about practice.
Yeah, means nothing. Nothing. The results. I care about the interceptions week 1. I don't care about it in practice.
Same thing with exhibition.
Yeah.
The preseason games
means nothing. You're working on your faults. That's so. I almost want interceptions because you want them to work on things.
Hell.
Yeah.
But again, guys, girls, thank you so much for being here. Enjoy your weekend for the Entertainment Talk Sports. It is your boy, the man. It is. We out.